Hey guys, welcome back. This is Snazzy Yawa all-time favorite. Today we are gonna see what if Goku was son of Greek god. So let's move on to the video. Tournament of Power age 780. The entire world of Void was being shaken apart. The infinite three-dimensional area where there was no time or space. It was the perfect place to hold the Tournament of Power. A universal martial arts tournament where 8 universes fight with teams of 10 each against each other. The rules were simple. You eliminate a member of a team by throwing them over the fighting stage. Once all 10 members of a universe were eliminated, the respective universe was completely erased by Zeno, the Ami King. This was done because Zeno noticed that 8 universes had extremely low mortal levels compared to the 4 highest universes. So in order to get rid of the bad universes, he decided it was best to destroy all of the universes except one who will be the sole surviving universe. It truly was a war for survival. It was currently the final 2 minutes of the Tournament of Power. The last 2 remaining universes that were left were Universe 7 and Universe 11. The last 2 competitors left in the Tournament of Power were Jiren the Grey and the Super Saiyan Son Goku. Ever since Goku had heard of Jiren's unbelievable strength from Toppo, the Saiyan raised from Earth, couldn't wait to face the strongest Pride Trooper himself in the Tournament of Power. And when he had the chance, Goku, of course, like always, started off with his base form and then increased his power levels until he got to Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken X20. He was able to land some hits in, but nonetheless, he got completely decimated. Goku almost couldn't believe it. Jiren was the strongest and toughest opponent he had ever faced. He was even stronger than Lord Beerus. Goku, with no other options left, only had one thing left up his sleeve: the Genki-Dama. He gathered the energy from all of the members in Universe 7, minus Vegeta of course, and threw it straight at Jiren. But it proved to be futile, since Jiren simply blinked the Genki-Dama away like it was nothing. Goku was shocked, but he didn't have enough time to freak out at Jiren's amazing feat, due to the fact the resulting explosion of the Genki-Dama directly landed on Goku. There was a huge boom, and when the smoke cleared, Goku was nowhere to be found. At first, everybody thought he was dead. But then Beerus was calm and simply said, "He's coming." After the Hakations said that, Goku rose from the rubble and opened his eyes to reveal silver orbs. He had unlocked the Miget no Gakui, the key of egoism. It was the mastery of self-movement and the secret of selfishness, also known as Ultra Instinct. Even though it was only the Omen, the Hakations and other deities were still dumbfounded. How could a mortal attain such a state that even gods could not easily master? It was unheard of. Blasphemy. It should not be possible. But like always, Son Goku was able to make the impossible possible. Then after Vegeta was eliminated, Goku was able to break through his limits and attain the Omen of Ultra Instinct once again. But the Pride Trooper, Jiren, was still giving him trouble. While Goku was in the Omen state, he could only dodge without thinking, but he still could not attack naturally without thinking. This, of course, gave Jiren the advantage, as if Goku couldn't do any damage to him, then he only had to wait until his time with Omen ran out and then immediately eliminate him. But then, something spectacular happened. Goku was able to figure out the secret of Ultra Instinct. And as Jiren was backing him up into a corner, Goku yelled out an almost deafening battle roar as he outputted all of the energy he had in his body. He broke his limits once again. His hair turned silver along with his eyes. He had a mixed silver and blue liquid aura that just screamed out godliness. He had done it. He achieved the true form of Miget no Gakui. He had mastered Ultra Instinct. He could now dodge and attack without thinking and simultaneously. There was no need for him to plan his movements. It all just came naturally to him. He had done it. He had mastered a technique that not even the Hakations were able to do. And now he could win the tournament and save his universe. At first, he was completely dominating Jiren, but of course, the Pride Trooper was not going down without a fight. So he unlocked his hidden power and gained an even more crimson and passionate aura. Jiren was now actually giving a challenge to mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. Jiren managed to hold his own against the now limit-breaking Saiyan God, but Goku was still not going to give him the victory. He had his friends and family counting on him, so he was not about to give up. He was low on stamina, but still. After hearing the cries of Krillin and the others, it gave him all of the motivation he needed to get back up. Jiren couldn't believe what he was seeing. Impossible. You shouldn't have any more stamina. Goku stared at him as his godly silver and blue aura swirled around his frame. Jiren, it ain't over yet. Jiren grit his teeth. How? How can you still stand after being beaten so many times, Son Goku? Number 17 in Vegeta and everyone else's trust in me. I swear on that faith I can never back down now. Goku powered up as his godly white aura became even more potent. Such a thing is meaningless before my power. Jiren shouted. Right as he said that, both Jiren and Goku jumped towards each other and began to brawl once again. Jiren aimed a punch, but Goku effortlessly dodged it. I'll show you that it ain't meaningless. What? Son Goku's speed is increased even more. The Kaishin of Universe 11 said nervously when he saw Goku weaving Jiren's attacks like they were nothing. Belmod, the Hakaishin of Universe 11, stood up in a fit of anger and shouted, "Impossible! How can that be? You can't even figure that out?" Belmod and the Universe 11 Kaishin looked towards where the voice was coming from and realized it was Piccolo who spoke. Goku isn't fighting only for himself. It's because he's bearing our hopes too. Piccolo's right. Mutant Roshi, Goku's old master, suddenly said. Goku has people who help raise each other up. Not only do we all treasure each other greatly, but our existence also gives Goku strength. I'm sure he doesn't believe, even for a moment, that he came this far by himself. Krillin nodded in agreement. It's because of Goku that all of us are here now. When we first met, some of us fought or were enemies, but here we all are, trusting Goku. Even when fighting, he has a way of drawing in those around him. That's just the sort of person Goku is. Tien added, reminiscing of how he and the others met Son Goku for the first time. Exactly, Beerus said, as he too couldn't deny the fact that Goku has certainly changed him for the better as well. Father. You're the greatest. Win this for us. Vegeta smirked. You hear that, Kakarot? We're all counting on you. Your failure will be unacceptable. Show Jiren what you showed me when we first fought. Teach him what true power really is. Now, go and beat Jiren for us. Do it in the honor of our Saiyan race. As Goku heard the encouraging words of his rival, he couldn't help but smile. Vegeta and many others have changed so much throughout the years that it's unfathomable. To think that the same prideful prince of all Saiyans would be cheering on a low-class warrior to prove the honor of the Saiyan race. How ironic. Goku powered up. No problem, old friend. I'm going to win this for you and everybody else. Goku clashed with Jiren once more. They kept on trading blows before Jiren kicked Goku down and sped towards him with momentum. The silver-haired Saiyan god easily landed on his feet and evaded Jiren's attack. Goku then outstretched his hand and gathered Kai in it. He sent out a pulse of fierce wind that was condensed into a single point. This sent Jiren flying to the other side, but the Pride Trooper was still on his feet and fired a barrage of Crimson Kai blasts towards Goku. Goku dodged these blasts like the martial arts master he is and flew to Jiren at a speed far surpassing that of light and punched him square in the chest. This made Jiren get stuck to a wall as the force of the punch was too much for even the strongest Pride Trooper to tank. Goku gazed at his strongest enemy with a determined look in his silver eyes. This is our power, Jiren. Jiren grit his teeth in utter frustration. Who cares about friendship? Who cares about trust? To accept that would be to deny everything that I've ever been. I won't believe in such power. Such a thing. Jiren's left hand ignited as violent crimson energy began to empower it. He then crushed the wall he was trapped in using his beyond godly Kai. Is easily erased. Jiren fired a full-powered energy blast towards the stands where Universe 7 was sitting with intent to kill. Everybody sitting in the stands just looked on at shock with their mouths agape. They couldn't react to their impending doom due to the pure shock they were in. That blast was strong enough to surely vaporize all of the Universe 7 members and even some of the Hakaishin sitting beside them. But before the blast could make contact, it was effortlessly knocked away by none other than Son Goku. You. Goku's eyes were shadowed. He was shaking uncontrollably in pure wrath. This fool just intended to wipe out his comrades. The power you believe in is easily erased. Just like that. Jiren shouted as everybody watching were baffled at the audacity of the strongest Pride Trooper. Goku grit his teeth. He balled his fists as his mastered Ultra Instinct aura began to transform into a fiery white. I don't think I'm a hero of justice or anything. I never perceived myself as such. But those who'd hurt my friends, family, or anybody precious to me. Goku lifted his head and shouted at the top of his lungs. I won't forgive. The liquid silvery blue aura of mastered Ultra Instinct transformed to a white-hot inferno of fury. Goku's power level exponentially shot up. His presence alone made the entire dimension they were all in shake uncontrollably. All of the gods couldn't believe it. The white-hot flames of Goku's aura had heat that made even the angels sweat. The gods of destruction shook in fear. They knew that once Goku mastered Ultra Instinct, he had surpassed each and every last one of them, but this heat. It was enough to give them nightmares. They were relieved that the Saiyan known as Kakarot was on the side of justice. Even if all 12 of the Hakations fought him at once, they would all get demolished at the hands of this now enraged silver-haired Saiyan god. What is this heat? It feels like my skin is burning just from the sensation of Goku's Kai. Tien shouted as the others also had the same thought process. No way. This can't be happening. Impossible. How can a single mortal have so much raw power that it makes us look like specks of dust? Belmont said as he definitely did not see something like this coming. He never for a second thought there could be another warrior in another universe that could rival, much less surpass Jiren's Kai and aura. To see Son Goku do so right in front of his eyes, it was enough to really humble the deity. Father. Calm down or you will burn us all to death. Gohan yelled to his father, but it completely fell on deaf ears, as Goku's power just kept on multiplying more than Kakin could ever dream of doing. Whis. What in the hell is going on with Goku? His power makes mine pale in comparison. Even if all us Hakations went all out and combined our powers, we would get burned to bits. What is this raw strength? This doesn't look anything like Ultra Instinct. If anything, this would be the exact opposite. Beerus cried out in fear as he did not want to be on Goku's bad side when he was in this shocking state of power. Whis was visibly sweating as he too was dumbfounded by Goku's outburst. My lord, it seems as though seeing Jiren almost kill Goku-san's comrades has awakened a righteous fury hidden deep within his heart. The fires of Goku-san's temper have flared. And his rage now burns with the heat of a mighty inferno. The flames of mastered Ultra Instinct augment his anger, and now the heat of his energy has expanded to the point where it knows no boundaries. Ultra Instinct not only has made it so that his body can defend and attack for him without needing to think about his movements, but it also made his body instinctively adapt to a whole new level that otherwise wouldn't be possible without it. Well, at least it shouldn't be possible for a mortal like him. This power was thought to be exclusive to only deities. But it seems as though Goku-san's Saiyan instincts have broken that rule. This is his true limit-breaking power. Whis, although still sweating from the pure heat from Goku's righteous fury, couldn't help but give him a proud smile. A smile that only a master can give to his student when the student had exceeded and shattered every expectation placed upon him. Just like you said earlier, my lord. This mortal is truly something else. What a guy, huh? But to have such a high amount of power and fury, but still be able to maintain the mastered Ultra Instinct state? Especially for a Saiyan mortal? It's unheard of. To be able to control such a grand shock to his emotions and use that emotion to his advantage to unlock a whole new realm of power and potential that he should not have access to this is concerning. The great priest, father to all of the angels, observed the silver-haired Saiyan as intently as possible. He was getting a bad feeling from this. Mortals should not be able to even perceive such a level of strength. Jiren is one thing, but for a Saiyan to use the technique of the angels and use it in his own way, even knowing the fierce limitations and forcing it to adapt his body to heights of power that can make his own children sweat. To master the angelic technique in less than 48 minutes when it can take some deities eons to even learn it. Preposterous. Whis raised an eyebrow. What do you mean, Oto-san? What are you concerned about? The Grand Priest took a moment to think before responding to his son. Whis, you were the one who trained Son Goku, did you not? Whis nodded. Yes, sir, I indeed did train Goku-san. However, to be fair, I was not his first master. Really? Do you happen to know who was the Saiyan warrior's first master? Whis nodded. He wondered why his father was all of a sudden so interested in Goku's martial arts history. Knowing him, there is a purpose behind his question. Whis turned to the turtle hermit. You were the first to teach Goku-san martial arts, right, Rashi-san? The great priest directed his attention to the invincible old master. Rashi, upon hearing his name, immediately stood up and bowed to the father of the angels. I did in fact teach Goku the way of Budm all those years ago when he was just a lad. However, I was not the boy's first martial arts master. The credit for that goes to Son Gohan. He was Goku's adoptive grandfather. He was the one who found Goku when he crash-landed on Earth from his home planet Vegeta. Son Gohan taught him manners and Goku's earthly nature. I believe if it were not for Gohan's teachings at that age, Goku would not have become the martial artist he is today. The reason why he has a pure heart is due to the teachings he received from Gohan. I simply taught him the advanced arts of Budm. But if it wasn't for what he already learned under Gohan, then I probably wouldn't have even taken him as my student, to be quite honest with you. The great priest was now in even deeper thought after what Roshi told him. If what he said was true, then Goku just became even more interesting to the Grand Priest. A Saiyan warrior with enough raw power to shatter a god of destruction, and yet his heart is pure? And it's all due to the teachings he received from a mortal named Son Gohan? How very peculiar. Hold up, Master Roshi. Didn't you also teach Goku's grandpa as well? Wasn't he your #1 student before you taught Goku? Krillin, Goku's best friend, asked his former master. Why, yes he was. Knowing that, I guess you can say that even today, now in the battle for our very existence, Goku is carrying the teachings of the Kame school on his shoulders. Roshi laughed, which caused the others to begin laughing as well. The teachings of the Kame school, huh? And the teachings of an angel, along with the pure heart of a Saiyan warrior? Is that the secret to Goku's power? The great priest's thoughts were interrupted by the voice of one of his daughters. Oh ho ho ho, this Son Goku his heat. While terrifying, it is at the same time very exciting. There's never been a mortal like him before, and there may not ever be a mortal like him after. After the tournament, I'm going to train him as well. It isn't fair for Whis to keep the Saiyan prodigy to himself. Vados, the angel of the 6th universe, exclaimed with a small but noticeable blush on her face. While Goku's heat was making the angel sweat, just like her brother, there was a sense of excitement that his heat was making her feel that no other man, mortal or god, made her feel. Hey, no fair. Who said you get to be the one to train him right after the tournament? As the oldest and the fairest, I believe that privilege should go to me. Besides, Goku would want a master that's more experienced in martial arts. Kusu, the angel of Universe 10, and the oldest of the angels yelled at her younger sister. She was also sweating and blushing from the enormous temperature from Goku's Kai. Just like her sibling, Goku's energy was making her feel something that no other being had ever made her feel before. Kusu is an anomaly among the angels, given that she openly cared for her universe and was the only angel to show sadness after Universe 10 was erased. Seeing Goku care so much for his friends in universe made her glad that a mortal with such love, power, and compassion exists. Naturally, after the tournament, she would want to train him herself. You are definitely the oldest, but you act the youngest. And fairest? Please, sister, don't make me laugh. We all know who among us that title goes to. Margarita, the angel of Universe 11, one of the two only universes remaining, spoke up after her sisters. Just like her sisters, Goku's white-hot Kai had awakened unfamiliar feelings within the deity. Something that she knows she isn't supposed to feel for a mere mortal. But in her mind, Son Goku has proven that he is no mere mortal. There is reason why her younger brother Whis decided to train him. And in the short and limited time span that he has had in his mortal life, he managed to not only achieve but master the technique of her own species. A feat that surely deserves attention and praise. Margarita couldn't help but lick her lips as sweat drenched down from her forehead as she embraced Goku's heat. Since my universe has made it much farther than either of yours, and due to a relatively higher mortal level, I believe the right to training the Saiyan should go to me, with all due respect. Oh, my Whis could only chuckle at the antics of his family. Not only has Goku had an effect on Beerus, but the angels as well? Is there no limit to the Saiyan's power and influence? Such a strange and powerful one, you are, huh? Goku-san? Margarita. We're trying to win a tournament for our survival here, and you're arguing with your sisters about which of you will get their hands on Goku first? Belmont shouted to his attendant. The angel looked at him with a stoic and neutral expression. Yeah, what of it? He's hot. Well, let's be glad that Chichi isn't here, Krillin said sheepishly, as shuddered at the thought of what would happen if Goku's wife was here to listen to how the female angels were talking about Goku. Goku, you have achieved heaven, my boy. Roshi exclaimed as he got a nosebleed, imagining the three female angels fighting over Goku in bikinis. Krillin rolled his eyes. You sure do have an imagination, old man. The great priest observed the chatter between his daughters. He then looked back at Goku. He was now even more interested in the Saiyan. How could his mere heat affect the angels? Is he surpassing his limits even more to the point where he could rival even us angels? No, that sounds like a joke. But the great priest spoke up for all to hear. Let us see if Goku's mortal body can withstand the limit-breaking power of the gods. Kakarot, so this is your true power, go beat Jiren. Make our fathers and Saiyan brethren proud. Vegeta yelled. Goku immediately flew towards Jiren at speeds never seen before and landed a sucker punch that completely knocked the Pride Trooper off of his feet. Goku was now exponentially stronger than what he was before. The power increase from mastered Ultra Instinct has given him more power than even fusion could ever hope to achieve. Goku stared at Jiren with a face that was the absolute epitome of fury and wrath. His current state of rage was comparable to when he first transformed to a Super Saiyan on planet Namek. Such emotion, and yet the great priest kept thinking about how what he was witnessing was even feasible. Jiren slowly recovered from Goku's rage-induced punch and stared at him with wide eyes. What in the blazes was that? Your power is on a whole different level than before. Jiren then rushed Goku, but Goku easily countered and threw him up. Jiren powered up and fired Crimson Kai blasts. Goku dodged the high-speed blasts and met Jiren with a clash of fists. They then began to fly and fight all over the arena, as all the spectators could see was a crimson and white hot aura battling for dominance, as the two strongest mortals in all of the universes blew even Xeno away. Each time they clashed, it had enough force to destroy whole macroverses, as cracks began to form in the world of Void. Even the great priest was shocked, as the world of Void was supposed to be infinite, so how were these two mortals making cracks in an infinite realm? Truly, this is the greatest showdown of all time. The ultimate survival battle. What's happening? It's like the world of Void is breaking apart. Tien exclaimed. To think that their battle would reach this level. The world of Void was specifically picked as the fighting arena to prevent this very event from happening. The great priest's words put everyone at an unease. Wow. Goku and Jiren are so cool. Their punches are so strong that they could even destroy the world of Void. The two Omni Kings shouted in glee. The spectacle of the tournament of power had far exceeded their expectations as well. Jiren fired even more blasts, but Goku tanked it all, as his white-hot aura completely disintegrated all of the Pride Troopers' attacks to dust. Jiren widened his eyes but continued his onslaught on the silver-haired Saiyan god. Goku dodged all of the punches and sidestepped to the left and landed a massive uppercut to the strongest fighter of Universe 11. Goku then cupped his hands in a familiar position. White energy began to form in his hands as he charged up an insurmountable amount of pure raw power. Supreme Kamehameha! Goku shouted as he blasted the strongest Kamehameha he's made yet. Instead of its usual blue color, it was pure white, and it was filled with the flames of mastered Ultra Instinct. There was a huge explosion that enveloped the world of Void. After the smoke cleared, Jiren was found lying on a crater defeated. Jiren! Toppo yelled in worry. Wow, he survived that? If I had been hit with that blast, I'm not sure if there would be any trace of me left. Belmod was astonished at the level of power Goku displayed with the Supreme Kamehameha. For Jiren to still be alive and in one piece after getting hit head-on spoke volumes of the Pride Trooper's strength and durability. Goku dropped down to the crater and stared at Jiren with impassive silver eyes. Well, why won't you finish me? Jiren asked in confusion. Jiren had lost. It was proven already that Goku was by far the better warrior. He had mastered Ultra Instinct, the form that not even the gods of destruction could attain. And unlike Jiren, Goku was not only fighting for himself, but for his comrades who put all of their trust in him to win it all for their universe. But then for some reason Goku began to feel guilt. All of this whole tournament of power, it was his doing. He was the one who went to Xeno and asked for this tournament to happen. And in the process, it cost the lives of so many innocents. Whole universes were erased just because of his selfish desires to fight strong opponents and to break his limits in order to become the strongest there is. He remembered the faces of the people who were erased. All good and innocent people, and they were all gone just because the so-called king of all wanted to clear out the bad universes with low mortal levels. It made him sick to his stomach whenever he realized just how many people, innocent lives, died just for their entertainment. He did a good job of hiding his anger so as to not worry the others. Goku knows that he isn't exactly a hero in the sense of justice or anything, but this tournament of power changed him. It made him realize that there were bigger things than his selfish desires. The lives of countless innocents were much more important than his need for fighting strong opponents. He remembered the two Saiyan girls, Caulifla and Kale. He saw great potential in those two, and he hopes to get the opportunity to train them in the future. Kind of like how Vegeta's relationship with Kappa. When he saw them get erased, it broke his heart. And when Goku thought about Hit and the others being erased, a new resolve burned within him. He made a decision. Goku looked at Jiren with soft eyes and a look of guilt. Jiren, I'm sorry, if it were up to me, none of you would have to get erased. Thank you for pushing me to limits I could never dream of. I have attained this newfound power thanks to the experiences of this entire tournament of power. I promise I will pay each and every one of you back. I'll keep my word on that even if I die." Jiren widened his eyes in shock. Really? What do you mean? Once I'm knocked off, my universe is gonna get erased. Goku shook his head. Just trust me on this. I'll bring you all back, I promise. Why are you having small talk at a time like this, Goku? Hurry up and finish it. Beerus shouted all the way from the stands. None of the spectators could hear the words that Goku and Jiren exchanged, but Goku nodded his head to Beerus and walked towards Jiren. Goku outstretched his hand and ready to yellow Kai blast strong enough to knock Jiren off. But before that could happen, Goku collapsed to the ground. The great priest smiled, just as I thought. He got on his knees and panted heavily. Harsh purple lightning enveloped him as he reverted to his base form. He screamed in agony as pain coursed through his entire body. "Goku! What the hell is going on?" Beerus yelled. "The limit-breaking power that surpasses even the gods. I didn't think the toll would be this great," Whis said as he now was worried for Goku's health. "This is not good. He took too long. That moment of hesitation will cost him." But Goku had won. He'd won. He was just a blast away from victory. Damn it. Ai. Goku kept on screaming in pain as he was currently experiencing hell. He underestimated the power of mastered Ultra Instinct. The heat of his energy was just too great for his mortal body to maintain. It drained his stamina way too quickly. It was only his first time using the form. He had no idea the drawbacks of using such a legendary form that not even gods could attain. "What's happening to Dad? Is he going to be alright? It looks like he's dying," Gohan said with a horrified tone. He had seen his father die once before. Never does he believe he should ever witness that again. "That's because he is dying," the great priest replied to the son of Goku. What Whis said is true. Goku's limit-breaking power was indeed a sight to behold. But such a power comes with a price. A price that unfortunately your father's mortal body cannot afford to pay. "What are you saying?" Gohan was smart enough to understand the implications of the great priest's words, but he didn't want to believe it. A mortal should not have access to all of that power. Such a power that is unrestrained and unbound by the laws of deities. No, it just cannot exist. Son Goku's time has run out. But of course, this was fated to happen. Everyone has limits for a reason. Even us gods. Vegeta sat up in anger. "No, that cannot be. Saiyans have no limits. I refuse to accept that nonsense. Vegeta, calm down this instant." Vegeta turned to the voice of Beerus, who on the surface was sitting down calmly, watching Goku intently. "How could I be calm, Lord Beerus? Kakarot will be just fine," the destroyer firmly stated. All of the other members of Universe 7 looked at Beerus with surprise. Even Whis was a bit taken aback by his student's confidence. The Saiyan prince stared at the purple cat. "How do you know?" Beerus sighed. "You said it yourself. Saiyans have no limits. Son Goku is the strongest Saiyan there is. All we can do is have faith in his power." The great priest raised an eyebrow at the destroyer. "You think Son Goku will survive?" Beerus smirked. "More than just survive. Jiren, knock him off." Belmont screamed at his universe's greatest warrior. "Do you want to lose?" Jiren looked at Goku, who was completely defenseless. He grit his teeth. He was hesitating to take advantage of his opportunity to finally win. But the words of Goku came back to his head. What if he was actually being sincere, Jiren thought. "What are you doing? You'll get the Super Dragon Balls. Do it." Jiren sucked his teeth and got up. "Fine." The Pride Trooper outstretched his hand and aimed a crimson energy blast towards Goku. "Proud warrior, Son Goku. It is not my wish for our showdown to end this way. But, even though you will cease to be, you shall live on forever in my memories. Farewell." Goku could only watch as Jiren was ready to eliminate him. "Damn it. I was so close to winning, and I blew it. Why am I such a failure? Even with Ultra Instinct, I still couldn't win." Son Goku was devastated as he felt excruciating pain. How could he fail? He had power that even surpassed the gods themselves, and yet he was about to cut everyone down. Jiren blasted Goku. Goku was helpless as he was sent flying towards the outside of the ring. But before he could be eliminated, a sudden force of energy pushed him into the direction of a platform, thus saving him from elimination. "Huh? You?" Jiren shouted. "Frieza!" Universe 7 yelled. Then out of the ruins of the arena came out Android 17. Number 17-san. So you didn't self-destruct? Android 17 held onto his arm as he walked out of the dust. It was a gamble whether I'd survive or not. Looks like I lucked out. You really are amazing. Android 18 yelled. Jiren, you'll run out of time at this rate. Hurry up and knock them off. Belmont yelled. 17 stood next to Frieza as he powered up. With Son Goku in that condition, it looks like it's just us. I'm well aware. Frieza replied as he powered up as well. How futile. Is dragging one who can no longer fight back to the stage this trust thing that you're always going on about? Jiren said. Trust? What's your point? Don't make me have to repeat myself. He's just insurance. I'll be winning the Super Dragon Balls, so there's no need for you to worry about repeating anything. I don't sense that absolute strength you exhibited earlier anymore. You shall experience the taste of defeat once more by my hand. Frieza said. That got Jiren pissed off as he then rushed the two combatants. It seemed to be an even fight as 17, and Frieza used teamwork to get the edge over a weakened and fatigued Jiren. They were able to corner and trap him between rocks and 17, and Frieza were able to combine their attacks together to put Jiren to the ground. Everybody thought they had won. Frieza went up to finish the job but Jiren did well. Belmont said in a grave tone. Everyone knew why he was saying it. He believed this was the end. You've lost the spirit to even look at me. Frieza told the Pride Trooper. Jiren was due. What are you doing, Jiren? Everybody looked to see Toppo on his feet. You would kneel before an enemy? Is this pathetic image how you end? Get up, Jiren. Your friend is quite obnoxious. Frieza said. I have no friends. What did you build your strength while trusting no one all this time for? Fight for your pride until the end. You may not believe in your own strength, but I do. Until the end. Jiren. You are strong. You are stronger than anyone. Toppo yelled as his words sparked a new resolve within Jiren. Honesty, I feel like vomiting. Frieza said. Silence. Everybody looked on with gasps as Jiren's crimson aura flared and his power shot up to even higher than before. Run, Frieza. But it was too late. Jiren immediately took the chance to grab Frieza and blast him with heavy and dense energy shots. He then flew all the way and blasted him all the way out of the ring. Frieza had been eliminated. Frieza has been knocked off. The Grand Priest said as Zeno pressed his button to indicate that Frieza was no longer in the game. Frieza appeared on the stands. This can't be happening, we were so close. We were going to win. Beerus said as he now feared for his universe's destruction. It was now 17 and Goku left. Damn it. Jiren isn't playing around anymore. He's gonna make quick work of 17, and then he's gonna come finish me off. I wish I could do something, but I'm all out of juice. Damn it. I have to do something or else my universe is gonna get erased, and I won't fulfill the promise I made. Goku thought in frustration as time was running out, and he barely had any power left. But then it hit him. He knew exactly what he needed to do to save his universe and fulfill his promise. He quickly instant transmission to where 17 was at, and then teleported to a secluded hiding spot within the ruins of the arena. You can move. Look who's talking, number 17. Listen, I'm going to need to ask a favor of you. It's really important that you do this in order to save our universe and help me keep my promise. Goku said as he explained his plan to 17. What? Are you out of your mind? You'll die. I don't care. I'd rather risk my life than allow my universe to get erased. I'm doing this for the greater good. Please promise that you will follow the plan. 17 nodded sadly. Alright, you can count on me. It was nice knowing you, Son Goku. Now go and save us all just like how you've always done. Goku smirked and then instant transmission to a platform all the way to the top of the arena. He then raised both of his hands to the air. Everyone, I hate to ask you this again, but please lend me your energy one more time. Huh? But didn't he do this before? Why would it work now? Krillin questioned. It doesn't matter. Just do what he says, damn it. Beerus yelled. Everybody in Universe 7, including Vegeta, gave all of the energy they could muster to Goku. That technique again? You must know that won't be enough to defeat me now. What are you planning? Jiren asked the Saiyan. Goku gave the Pride Trooper a grin. You'll see. Jiren. I don't like that look on his face. He's got something up his sleeve. Don't let him finish charging that attack up. Belmont yelled at Jiren. Jiren nodded, but before he could attack Goku, he was intercepted by 17. Sorry, but you will have to go through me if you want to get to Son Goku. Fool. You have no chance against me and my absolute power. Then come and show me just what that power of yours can do. 17 yelled as he fired blue energy blasts at Jiren. The blasts were nothing but a distraction, and Jiren understood this. He knew the android was just trying to buy time for Goku. He dodged the blasts and went straight for Goku, who was still busy charging up the Jinkidama. No. 17 gasped as he realized what Jiren was doing. Universe 11's strongest warrior was too fast for the android. Oh, that's not good. 17-san won't be able to stop Jiren going at that speed. He's heading right for Goku-san. Whis stated. Crap. Goku, watch out. Beerus screamed at the top of his lungs. He was sweating profusely now due to the amount of nerves he was racking up. His entire existence was on the line on the outcome of this battle. Goku saw Jiren fire a Crimson Kai blast at him. He didn't have enough strength left to dodge as he was too focused on charging the Jinkidama. Damn it, I can't dodge it in time. What do I do? The blast made contact. There was an explosion that caused a bunch of smoke to appear. When the smoke cleared, everyone feared the worst and expected Goku to have been eliminated, but what happened next took everyone by surprise. Goku was completely shielded by a green orb of Kai. Android 17 had surrounded Goku with his signature shield that was strong enough to tank one of Jiren's blasts. Nice one. Android 18 yelled to her twin brother. What? But how could he still have that much energy left to shield Son Goku from Jiren? Belmont exclaimed. That's right. Androids have infinite stamina. They don't lose any power or energy. Krillin explained. Beerus sighed in relief. If that's the case, then we may actually still have a chance. Come on Goku, hurry up and finish charging that Jinkidama. Right. Goku kept on focusing as the Jinkidama kept on getting bigger and bigger. Not on my watch. Jiren was about to blast Goku again, but was stopped by 17. You are a pest. It's about time I get rid of you. Jiren rushed toward 17, and before the android could react, the Pride Trooper easily took him out of the ring. Number 17 has been eliminated. The Great Priest announced. 17 appeared next to the rest of his universe. Oh no, now it's only Goku left. Tien said worryingly. Don't worry. I bought him enough time. 17 said confidently. You did well. Now Goku, you better not fail or else I'll destroy you myself. Beerus yelled to the Saiyan. You got it, Lord Beerus. The Jinkidama formed almost instantaneously as it was now far bigger and stronger than it ever was before. Son Goku. Again you stand before me. Jiren shouted as he powered up and sent shockwaves of his energy. An amazing amount of energy is gathering in Jiren. Gohan said. It looks like Jiren's gotten over his issues. Vegeta said in amazement as he never thought they would meet somebody so powerful. Jiren really is amazing, he got this strong all by himself. Even all of us together might not be able to beat him. But still I won't lose. Goku shouted as he then began to absorb all of the energy of the Jinkidama into himself. He then looked deep inside of himself. He thought of all of the things he had to do to get to this point. He then thought of all of the lives that were at stake. He couldn't lose no matter what. He had to keep his promise. He won't let everybody be destroyed, damn it. He then emptied his thoughts and found the power he was seeking once again. He then yelled out a deafening roar that seemed like it had two voices, one which sounded like an Izaru. Goku's hair and eyes turned silver, he bulked, gained a white-hot aura like before, and his power shot up exponentially to new heights never seen before. Son Goku has done it again. He reached Mastered Ultra Instinct. He did it. He transformed again. Yes. We can win now. Beerus shouted in happiness. Alright, I have one shot at this. I have to finish this now. Goku thought. Goku then balled his fist and used all of the energy he had left into one attack and rushed Jiren. Supreme Dragon Fist. Goku's body once again was emitting an absurd amount of power and heat that made everyone present, even the Great Priest, sweat a little. How is this possible? His mortal body shouldn't have been able to absorb all of that energy in his condition. How does this Saiyan keep surpassing his limits in such a short amount of time? The Great Priest thought in shock as he was once again witnessing the great power of Ultra Instinct Goku. A giant Shenron-like white dragon materialized from Goku's energy and dived straight to Jiren. Jiren had no idea what was happening and was unfortunately caught in the dragon attack and was sent outside of the ring. Jiren from Universe 11 has been eliminated. Universe 11 will now be erased. Jiren was devastated. Even with all of the power he held, he still could not win. He still failed. He won't be able to see his master. Jiren. The Pride Trooper looked up to see Goku smiling at him. I want to see you again. Train hard and get stronger. I will wait for a rematch. Zeno then erased Universe 11, leaving only Universe 7 in the stands. Yes. We did it. Beerus shouted in joy as everybody began to celebrate their victory. Goku gave a sad smile as he saw Universe 11 be erased. Due to constantly breaking his limits over and over again, Goku's body could no longer hold it. Thus it was falling apart as harsh purple Haki energy began to encircle the Saiyan god. He was gonna die. However, before that could happen, from the cracks of the void that was created by the clashes of mastered Ultra Instinct Goku and Jiren, a vortex appeared. It seems as though the Dragon Fist caused a rift in time. The limit-breaking power of mastered Ultra Instinct Goku was strong enough to transcend time. Goku had surpassed time itself. Wait. The Super Dragon Balls. They could save you, Dad. Gohan told his father. On cue, the great priest summoned Super Shilong. Well, son Goku, what is your wish? Everyone expected for Goku to wish to save his life. But the sad smile he gave to his universe confused them. He then looked at his comrades and waved. Well, then guys, I guess this is goodbye. Huh? I'm going to keep my promise. Goku looked up to the dragon and great priest. Please restore all of the universes that were erased. The father of the angels raised an eyebrow. Are you sure? You will die. Yes, that is my wish. Please revive all of the universes that have been erased. Goku stood firm on his wish. Dad, but why? Goku saw the tears in Gohan's eyes. He hated seeing his son in such a state. But this is what had to be done. I'm sorry, Gohan. I don't want to leave you again. But this is the price I have to pay. Tell your mother and brother that I'm sorry. I love you all. Goku, who was still in his mastered Ultra Instinct form, was then sucked in by the massive vortex. He didn't even have enough time to prepare himself. His comrades called out his name as some tried to fly towards them as fast as they could, but to no avail. The vortex closed before they could reach him. Son Goku was gone. Whis, what the hell just happened? Where is Son Goku? He was the one who won the whole tournament for us. Beerus yelled. I don't know, Whis said. Goku was not having a good time. He thought that after he unleashed his final attack, that his body would give out and die. But the vortex seemed to have saved him and helped him restore his injuries. He felt his body changing. Not only was his body recovering, but it felt like it was transforming to a prime and peak position. As if the vortex was trying to make him the best vessel possible. His mastered Ultra Instinct and Hakaishin energies began to merge to create something infinitely powerful. Once that was done, there was a huge flash of light as Goku was finally transported by the vortex. When Goku opened his eyes, he was met with a pair of silver ones as he noticed that dozens of arrows were aimed at him. He looked around to see himself to what seemed to be a camp in the wilderness. All he saw were girls dressed in hunter clothing as they all stared at him with caution, as if he were a threat. Who are you? What is your name, male? One of the hunters said venomously. Goku thought for a second before he answered. Son Goku. Or Kakarot. He then passed out on the floor. Time Rift Age. The next time Goku opened his eyes, he expected to either end up in King Yama's office or King Kai's planet, with a shiny and fresh halo floating on top of his head. Either that, or be erased completely as his own body gives out on him. When Goku fired off his ultimate Supreme Dragon Fist, he did it with the intention of sacrificing himself for the greater good. He had no choice, as it was either that, or let his whole universe be erased completely from existence. He obviously knew which one to pick. Plus, it was his fault for that whole mess of the Tournament of Power, so he was willing to pay the ultimate price to atone for his sins. He didn't really mind it. He sacrificed his life before. Twice actually. The first time was to stop his older brother Raditz, and the second was to prevent the bio-android, known as Cell, from blowing up Earth. Both of those deaths ended up benefiting him greatly since it allowed him to train and get stronger in Otherworld. Thanks to King Kai's training in Otherworld, for the first time he died, he was able to defeat Nappa and have one of the greatest fights of his life with Vegeta. And a second time he died, his 7 years of training in Otherworld allowed him to unlock Super Saiyan 3, a form that rivaled the power of Majin Buu. But before he knew it, as his body was about to break down, a vortex opened up and sucked the savior and strongest mortal alive into a time rift. Goku couldn't even process any of this as it all happened so fast. He felt pain everywhere as his body and cells inside of it were all reconstructing and deconstructing themselves and evolving. He felt his entire being stretch as his very atoms were rubbing against each other. Ah! Goku yelled in agony, what's happening to me? It hurts. Make it stop. Goku kept on yelling for a couple of more seconds until the pain suddenly stopped. Huh? Goku looked around to see a night sky and a secluded area. Where am I? This doesn't look like King Yama's office. Goku said to himself. He kept on looking around until he heard two voices. Is there another option? Let's think about this. No. It's the only choice. If I turn out to be wrong, I'll go and rescue him. Huh? Who's there? Goku shouted with caution. He then saw two people, a man and a woman, walking side by side. The man had a large space pod over his head and seemed to be arguing with the woman. For some reason, Goku felt as though he knew these people. Goku's eyes then widened when he got a good look at the man. He just looks like me. And he's got a tail. And so does that lady. The man that Goku was referring to was the spitting image of him. He had the same wild hairstyle and same face. The only thing that was different was an X-shaped scar on his left cheek, and he wore Saiyan battle armor. The woman walking beside him had wild and spiky hair that went past her shoulders. She wore a similar attire to the man, but it was a lot less bulky. These two were none other than Bardock and Jain, the father and mother of Son Goku. But in that case, why don't the three of us run off somewhere together? Jain asked as she didn't like what her husband was about to do one bit. We can't. They'd use their damn scouters and be able to track us down in no time. The low-class Saiyan replied as he kept on walking. Jain looked down as she fidgeted her fingers. Bardock, why are you going through so much trouble? It's not like a Saiyan man to worry about his children. So what's gotten into you? Goku's eyes twitched at this. By this point, Goku had already connected the dots and figured out that these two Saiyans were his parents. Hearing his mother say that wasn't a shocker to him. His perception of Saiyans were that they were a bloodthirsty and battle-hungry race of warriors who never really cared about things like family or compassion. So hearing that male Saiyans aren't really the best fathers only makes sense. But to see his dad acting this way, it was strange. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm constantly fighting. Destroying. And I'd actually like to save something for once. Especially someone who is judged to be a lower-class warrior like my Kakarot. Bardock replied with a smile as he set down the space pod. A 3-year-old Goku could be seen crying, begging his father not to send him away. Jain gripped her fists, but he was born with only a power level of 2. The lowest ever in Saiyan history. How will he survive all by himself? I've programmed this to head to a distant planet called Earth. The people in that world have low power levels and aren't technologically advanced. I think he'll be able to do well there, Jain. Good thing is, it's not an extremely valuable world, so I'm hoping it won't even show up on the Frieza Force's radar. Jain put her hands on the glass of the space pod. If your father is wrong about this, then we'll come and get you immediately. Listen, son. You do what it takes to survive, got it? Train hard. Get stronger, stronger than anyone. Prove all of the people who said you would never amount to anything wrong. I believe in you. If I turn out to be right, avenge us. Avenge our race. Become the Super Saiyan. Bardock exclaimed as young Kakarot looked at his father curiously. He couldn't quite understand what he was saying, but felt a sense of warmth in his heart. We'll see you really soon. Jain yelled with tears in her eyes. As a mother, it was hard for her to do this. Her youngest child being sent off to an unknown world. It just wasn't fair. What did her baby have to do with the legendary Super Saiyan? Bardock placed his hand on the pink glass. Kakarot placed his hand on the same spot. It desperately wanted to hold on to his father's hands, but they were separated by the glass of fate. Goodbye. Those were the last words Bardock ever spoke to his son before the space pod lifted and began to leave the planet Vegeta's atmosphere. Don't forget us, Kakarot. Jain yelled as the space pod left and began its journey to its destination. Jain sobbed as she covered her face full of tears. Bardock hugged her as he was just as sad, if not, even more than his wife. He wished it didn't have to be that way, but he had no other choice. If he and the rest of them died, Bardock at least wanted to be sure that his son was safe. It would be the one last thing he saved. Stay strong, son. We're counting on you. Goku watched everything that had just transpired with his mouth open. The memories started to flood in as he remembered when his parents sent him off. He remembered the words that his father spoke to him before he was sent away from a doomed planet. They really cared about me. They believe in me. Goku whispered as hints of tears began to form in his eyes. I did it, father. I became the Super Saiyan. I defeated Frieza. I avenged our race. Goku then gripped his fists as the tears began to stream down, and not only that I surpassed my limits again and again, until I've reached a level beyond even the gods. I became as strong as I could. I saved my universe. I hope I made you too proud. Goku wiped his tears. Then suddenly, his vision began to blur as the area twirled as he was sucked back into the time rift. As he was flying by in the time rift, his entire life flashed before his eyes. Meeting Bulma, fighting in the World Tournament, eliminating the Red Ribbon Army, defeating Demon King, and then his son in the 23rd tournament. The scene shifted to his adult life. The arrival of the Saiyans, the fight with Frieza, turning Super Saiyan for the first time, training with Gohan in the Room of Spirit and Time, and watching him surpass the father by defeating Cell and saving the Earth. That memory made Goku smile. He never felt prouder or happier than when Gohan surpassed him. Then it flashes forward to the final fight with Pure Buu, Kid Buu, seeing all of their energy come together into the Jinkidama and finish Buu off for good. It doesn't stop there. Goku saw when he met Beerus and got Super Saiyan God, tapping into a whole other realm of power that he didn't know was possible. Seeing Frieza return, the Universe 6 tournament and all of the shenanigans with future Trunks and Zamasu. And finally, the Tournament of Power. Achieving Ultra Instinct was something beyond even Goku's wildest dreams. Then seeing his limit-breaking sacrifice brought a bittersweet smile to his smile. The memory was still fresh. He will miss his friends, but he had to do it. He didn't have any regrets. He just hoped that his children and wife understood. After reliving his entire life, the time rift shifted again. All he could see was an endless purple void. There were some large crystals that showed his reflection. He saw that he was still in his mastered Ultra Instinct state. It was weird because it certainly didn't feel like it. He thought he had reverted back to his base form after he was sucked into the portal. He also looked younger. Wow, what a tale your life is. Goku turned around. Who's there? When he turned, he saw 3 old ladies in rocking chairs knitting. A boy who began as a low-class warrior, who ended up surpassing the gods themselves. That is unheard of. I've never seen such a thing. Have you, my sisters? Of course not. I'm just as shocked as you, sister. The 3 old ladies, who are apparently sisters, chatted amongst themselves. Every sentence they spoke was in perfect sync. As if they knew exactly what each other were going to say and when they were going to say it. Goku raised a brow at them. They're weird. His tale has got to be my favorite. A true hero if I ever saw one. I agree, sister. So do I, sister. I'm no hero. Goku suddenly spoke, causing the attention of the 3 old ladies to shift to him. I'd just like to fight. But I hate cruelty. And I try to protect my friends and family. But I don't see myself as a hero of justice or whatever. I think I'm far from it. I just so happen to save a lot of people as I fight. One of the old ladies hummed, interesting. The greatest hero we've ever seen doesn't even see himself as a hero? Isn't that a shock? It is, sister. So you don't think you're a hero? Then explain to me, what is this? The purple void changed as it showed the times where Goku saved the day. Defeating Demon King Piccolo, the Saiyans, Frieza, sacrificing his life against Cell, and defeating Pure Buu. Or this? One of the other ladies snapped her fingers, and it then showed when Goku fought for his universe and friends in the Tournament of Power, and his limit-breaking sacrifice. Are those not heroic acts? Son Goku? Goku was about to speak up, but then couldn't. She did bring up a good point. He didn't call himself a hero, and yet he's done many heroic things. He never saw them as heroic. He just wanted to help out innocent people and get a good fight. And I liked that last one especially. You sacrificed your entire being for the sake of your universe? I don't think there is anything more noble than that. Is there, sisters? Nope. Not all. Goku raised his finger, but for that one, I sort of caused that. If it wasn't for my selfishness for asking the Xenos for a tournament, then we wouldn't have been in that mess in the first place. Quite the contrary, actually. You gave your universe a chance to survive. If it wasn't for you, all of those universes would have been destroyed. And thanks to your efforts and sacrifice, all of the universes were able to come back to life. You saved an immeasurable amount of lives. And you didn't ask for anything in return. Now explain to me, son Goku. With all of the evidence that me and my sisters have presented to you, how could you not call yourself a hero? Goku looked down sheepishly. I guess you guys do have a point. The three ladies smiled. We have seen a lot of heroes come and go in our world. And none of them, and I mean none of them, come close to your bravery, your tenacity, your will, your drive, your heart, and your kindness. Goku laughed in embarrassment. Come on, you don't really mean that. It's true. We don't lie. Ever. Goku stared at them as they all talked in perfect sync with one another. How do you three do that? Lots of practice. All three said in unison. Goku chuckled. Well, anyways, who are you ladies? Why are you here? And shouldn't I be dead or not existing anymore? Why am I seeing all of the memories from my life? The lady farthest from the left spoke. For who we are, that's not important. For why we are here, we felt a disturbance in our realm. An otherworldly being is coming into our dimension. That being is you. Our first instinct was to destroy you instantly, but when we saw your memories, we decided not to. Your story moved us. And no, you are not dead. We theorized that you tearing a hole into the time rift in dimensional fabric forced your body to go into a prime and peak condition. Which is why you may look younger. And why you were going through all of your memories. We usually are able to control the fate of every being in our universe. However, you seem to have defied fate itself. We have no control over your fate. Which is what makes you so interesting. Right now, a great prophecy is supposed to be in motion, and we already knew how the upcoming war was going to turn out. But with your presence, that changes everything. You are a wild card. Our original plans are as good as scraped. We have no more control of what happens now. Prophecies are useless. The fate of our world rests entirely on your actions and decisions. Goku was very confused. These ladies controlled fate? He's going to another dimension? The world depends on him? Wait, hold on. This is all going top fast. What do you mean the fate of your world depends on me? What happened to my world? One of the old women took out a pair of scissors and cut a piece of knit, which then turned into a string. The string was first golden, and then it turned to bright silver. Your story in your original world is over. For all they know, Son Goku, the one they call Kakarot, is dead. Gone forever. But you know what they say. When one door closes, another one opens. Your story as Son Goku, the Saiyan raised on Earth and the savior of the universe, may have ended. But another story is just about to begin. And we will enjoy every second of it. Your story may not have such a happy beginning. But that doesn't make you who you are. It is the rest of your story. Who you choose to be. The old lady gave Goku his string of fate. The string glowed silver and disappeared into his hand. Goku sensed an unbelievable amount of power and sense of peace flowing within him. Whoa. Now your fate is yours to choose. In your first life, many things were out of your control. But now in your second life, you have the opportunity to whatever your heart desires. Everything you do is your choice. All of the memories of his friends and family flashed through his mind as all of the great battles they won together reverberated in him. And now with his thread of fate in his hands, he felt a drive inside of him, unlike any other. The three ladies all looked into Goku's eyes as they all said at the same time. So, who are you, Saiyan? Goku looked up at them with a face full of determination and grit. I am Son Goku and Kakarot. The ladies smiled as their figures began to glow. Wings appeared on them as they all chanted. Well then, Son Goku, also known as Kakarot. Here is the start of your new journey. Let's see how the world will turn out with your presence. Will it turn into ruin, or will it be preserved? It's all to you, Super Saiyan God. Goku was hit by a blast of energy, and before he knew it, his vision blacked out. The next time Goku woke up, he found himself on a bed with sheets and a blanket over him. He immediately sat up and drew up the blankets. He was in a cold sweat and was shirtless. He then remembered that the top half of his guy was torn up during the tournament of power. Right as he thought that, a flash appeared next to his bedside. He looked to see it was a neatly folded pile of clothes. There was a note on top that read, "A little gift from fate." Goku took off the note and realized that it was an exact replica of his iconic martial arts guy. He smiled and silently thanked the three old ladies before putting on the guy. All of my injuries seemed to be healed. Goku noted as there weren't any scratches, blood, or bruises on him. He felt good as new. He then walked to what he thought was the door of the room, only for it to actually lead to the opening of a tent. What the? Wasn't that just a door? That's weird. As soon as he went outside of the tent, he felt a cold winter breeze. He scanned the area to find himself in a forest with hints of snow. Goku closed his eyes and began sensing any familiar energy signatures. It seems like those old ladies were right. I don't recognize any Kai signatures at all. Although I do think I am on Earth, I can tell it's different. Even nature, plants, animals, and humans. They all seem weird to me. But there are a lot of strong energies. Him seemingly being in another dimension isn't looking like to be far-fetched. This was definitely not his Earth. He doesn't remember there being so many strong energies. Besides him and the Z fighters, the people in his world aren't particularly impressive. But here though, it's like there was a whole buffet of strong guys to fight. He especially felt a dozen or so very strong people that stood out from the rest all gathered together in one spot. And not too far from them, he felt many strong signatures that were similar to the dozen super strong ones, but not quite as potent as them. Interesting, Goku thought. He then raised his brow as he picked up on something else. Wait a minute. I can feel a similar collection of energy to the large group near the super strong ones. It's a good distance away, but I can still feel them. They are similar, but different. I've got to check these out soon. Then, Goku began to sense a group of people approaching his vicinity. They seemed to be fairly strong, but nothing the Saiyan god can handle. Okay girls, it shouldn't be long until Lady Artemis returns from the meeting. Let's eat our dinner and then wait patiently for her return. She gave us strict orders to not move from here unless we were being attacked by monsters. A loud and strong feminine voice shouted out to a group of girls. Yes, Lieutenant. They all replied in unison. I will go check up on our guest. See if he has awoken. Zoe, be careful. The man may try something. A ginger-haired hunter with red eyes and scowl on her face spat. The word man almost sounded as if it were a curse in her mouth. I'll be fine, Phoebe. I've been a huntress of Artemis for over 2 millennia. I think I can handle one man. Thou should relax and help the girls prepare dinner. Phoebe bowed. Understood, Lieutenant. We shall prepare it right away. The ginger-haired daughter of Ares proceeded to go and help her fellow huntresses get dinner ready. Zoe Nightshade, daughter of Atlas, walked towards one of the spare tents they had used to house the man who appeared in their camp not too long ago. He's been unconscious for a week. His injuries were pretty severe. It looked like he had just come straight from a war. Anyone would take time to recover from that. The lieutenant of the hunt thought as she reached her destination. Just as she got there, she found Goku standing still with his eyes closed as he searched for other energy signatures. He noticed Zoe's presence and opened his eyes, smiling. Oh hey there. My name's Goku. Zoe immediately drew her bow and arrow and aimed it at Goku. The Saiyan raised on Earth shrieked at the sight and put both of his hands up. Whoa, whoa. What's the bow and arrow for? Goku exclaimed as he didn't expect the huntress to be so threatening. Don't move. That was all Zoe said as she walked up to him with her bow and arrow still drawn. She inspected him closely, checking for weapons or any other dangerous items. When she concluded that everything was fine, she set her weapon down. Okay, thou can put his hands down now. Goku slowly did as he was told and looked at the huntress nervously. Her gaze was unwavering. As if she was trying to drill a hole into him. For how long has thee been awake? Zoe scoffed, stupid English, always changing. I mean, when did you wake up? Oh, just now. I was just looking around, seeing where I was. I don't know how I got here. I just remember waking up in that tent over there. Goku answered. Zoe narrowed her eyes. You've been out for over a week. Goku's eyes widened. A week? But how? One day, we just found you in the middle of our camp, lying on the ground. You were in a near-death state. We asked you who you were and why you were there, but all you said was something like, Son Goku or Kakarot, Zoe said as a suspicious look adorned her features. Goku chuckled. Daiha? Well, you can just call me Goku. Don't worry about the other name. Only one person really calls me that anyway. Goku, huh? Zoe said as she began thinking, what a strange name. I've never heard of it before. It doesn't sound American. And it definitely isn't Greek or Roman. What exactly are you, Goku? A demigod? If so, who is your godly parent? Zoe asked curiously. Judging by his appearance, he seemed around 21 to 23 years old. It is unusual for half-bloods to survive that long on their own without making it to camp. Most don't really make it or live through their adult life. This Goku doesn't resemble any of the Olympians. Is he the offspring of a minor god? That would make sense considering their children don't have a strong scent, which would explain how he would last so long outside of camp. The monsters probably don't even notice him. Goku got visibly confused. Demigod? What is that? Demigods, or half-bloods, are the children of a god and mortal. They usually have the qualities of their godly parents and give off a unique scent to monsters. Zoe answered. Goku shook his head. Oh, well, if that's the case then no. I'm 100% mortal. Zoe raised her eyebrows. What? That doesn't make sense. He doesn't give off the aura of a mortal. Is he clear-sighted? Wait a minute, what is that? Zoe pointed to something behind Goku. If you're just a mortal, then can you explain that? Huh? Goku looked to where Zoe was pointed and his eyes bulged out of their sockets. What? A tail. Goku shouted as he did in fact see that his tail was back. But it wasn't a regular Saiyan tail. It's supposed to be a brown color, but Goku's was now pure silver. The tail seemed to glow in the light as it could entrance someone in its beauty. And it's silver? Does it have anything to do with my mastered Ultra Instinct form? Goku wondered, and then another question came into mind. Wait just a minute. Didn't Kami say he permanently removed my tail and that it would never grow back? Gohan and Vegeta's tails haven't grown back either. So why did mine come back after all of these years? Goku then remembered the words of the Fates. My body was reconstructed to a prime and peak condition. My Saiyan biology must have thought that my tail was needed for my growth and for peak performance. Goku did feel a lot more complete with his tail back. Especially after remembering when his parents sent him to Earth. He felt more whole with his Saiyan side than ever before. Well, whatever the case, I'll just try not to look at a full moon, and there shouldn't be a problem. Goku looked back at Zoe. Oh well, you see, I was born with a tail. I don't know why. I thought it was normal. I was raised in the wilderness away from civilization, so I never really saw other people to compare. My grandpa said it was just how I was born. It was cut off a few times, but for some reason it grew back. I guess my body just can't go without it. Zoe was now even more suspicious. I have never heard of humans having tails. No species like that comes to mind. I don't think there's a single deity like that either. And yet, I don't feel any godly energy or scent coming off from him. He looks mortal. But I have a feeling there's something he isn't telling me. Well then, mortal known as Son Goku. Why are you here? In the maiden's camp. Goku shrugged his shoulders. I don't know. Like I told you, all I remember is waking up in that tent. But, I'm not a threat to you or your friends. You don't seem like a bad person. So I can leave if you want. Wait. Zoe suddenly said, which caught the Saiyan off guard. He was about to fly off and explore this new earth before her voice stopped him in his tracks. Our Lady gave us a specific order to not let you leave the camp under any circumstances. She's currently in a meeting right now, but she'll return shortly. Once she's here, she will decide what to do with you. Goku scratched his head. Sure, I guess I don't mind. You guys took care of me, so I don't have a problem with that. Zoe nodded. Good. Now follow me. I'm going to lead you back to our camp where the other huntresses are. Oh, and one thing. If I catch you looking at them a certain way, or even laying a finger on them, I don't care what Lady Artemis said, I will castrate you. Understand? Goku dumbly nodded. Yeah, Goku didn't know what the word castrate meant, but it didn't sound like anything good. Zoe led Goku back to camp where all of the huntresses already had dinner prepared. They were ready to eat around the campfire before they noticed their lieutenant with the male who was found in their camp about a week ago. All of them gave Goku nasty looks. Goku frowned at this. Why does it look like they already hate me just for existing? I haven't even done anything to them. Girls, this is our guest. He goes by the name Goku. Remember Our Lady's orders. Be nice to him. I already gave him his warning. Right, Goku? Yes, Goku just now realized that she never told him her name. Zoe Nightshade. I am the lieutenant of the goddess of the moon, Artemis, and her hunt. You're second in command to a goddess. That's so cool. So that means you're pretty strong, right? You have to be in order to be a goddess's lieutenant. Goku exclaimed as excitement for battle was showing in his eyes. Well, yes. I have fought many battles in my life and I have lived for a very long time. Lady Artemis recognized my strength and skill and bestowed to me the title as her second in command. Zoe said with a smile. That was weird. No one, other than the Hunt and Artemis, really complimented her skills. Hearing from someone else, from a male of a people, actually felt a little nice. Really? Well, if that's the case, then we should spar sometime. I really want to see how good a lieutenant of a goddess could be," Goku said with stars in his eyes. He felt his blood pumping at the prospect of fighting such a skilled huntress. Zoe and all of the other hunters looked at Goku with baffled expressions. Why was he so excited to fight Zoe? PFT. As if a mere man would even be able to touch our lieutenant, Phoebe said with a snicker. Other huntresses agreed with her. Zoe's skills far outclassed theirs and most heroes. She was comparable to Lady Artemis herself. A random male wouldn't stand a chance. "That's enough, Phoebe," Zoe commanded. As soon as she said that, Phoebe and the other hunters quieted down. "I wouldn't mind sparring Goku, as long as Milady allows it," Zoe told the Saiyan, which made him nod excitedly. "The meeting should almost be over by now. So she will be here shortly. Until then, help yourself." Zoe motioned towards the dinner that was prepared. "Oh, okay, good, because I'm starving." For the next couple of minutes, the hunters could only watch in disgust and awe as they witnessed Goku devouring every piece of food that came his way. He never stopped for a moment, as he hadn't had a good meal since the Tournament of Power. He's always hungry after a long battle. "Does his appetite know no bounds?" one of the hunters asked. "How is he able to consume all of that, and yet his body is still in perfect shape? Why do I feel bad for the food?" Moments later, Goku finished the last serving. He patted his stomach as he sighed in relief. "That hit the spot. Thanks for the food. I think I lost my appetite." "Yeah, me too." Zoe's sweat dropped seeing the hunter's reaction to Goku's ungodly hunger. It was at that moment a silver flash enveloped the camp. All of the hunters plus Goku had to cover their eyes due to how bright it was. And then when it died down, they were able to see who it was. "Milady," Zoe exclaimed. She proceeded to bow. "How was the meeting? Did it go well?" Artemis looked at her best friend with a frown. "No, I actually have some bad news." "That can't be good." "What is it, Milady? Did something happen?" Artemis nodded. "I'll explain it all in detail in a minute." Artemis turned her attention to Goku. "I see that our guest decided to finally wake up." Goku found himself in a trance as soon as his eyes fell upon Artemis. She was in her adult form, which had the appearance of a young woman in her 20s. She had long auburn hair which was currently done in a ponytail. Her silver hunter attire was on full display as her symbol of power. Her silver bow was on her back. Goku could sense an immense amount of power radiating from the goddess. She was one of the high power levels he sensed from earlier. There was also another thing that Goku noticed. She was drop-dead gorgeous. Usually, Goku doesn't really pay attention to things like that. He is a pure-blooded Saiyan warrior whose main interest is fighting and getting stronger. But for some reason, the goddess had gotten a reaction like that from Goku. The most alluring part of her were her eyes. They were silver, like the moon. As soon as he thought of that, his new silver tail began to slowly wag. He felt his power increasing. What is going on? Why is my Kai rising by itself? I feel myself slowly being pulled towards her. She reminds me of the moon. Wait, is that why? Don't tell me I'm already about to go to Great Ape. Unbeknownst to Goku, Artemis was having a similar sensation. What is this man? I can feel an insurmountable amount of power within him. It's unreal. I've never felt so much power in such a being. It's frightening, but for some reason, I can feel that he's pure-hearted. He has no malice in his heart. And why do I feel like my own power is rising? Artemis could feel herself being pulled towards Goku as well. And that's when she noticed his silver tail. Huh? That's weird. Is that why I'm getting such a strong vibe from him? Artemis snapped out of it and focused on the task at hand. "So, young man, who are you and what are your intentions?" "Oh, hi, my name is Goku. You must be Lady Artemis, right? Well, it's nice to meet you. As for my intentions, well, I am not a threat to you or your hunters, if that is what you're worried about. I didn't even know where I was when I woke up. But I come in peace." Artemis stared at the Saiyan. She was looking for any sense of deceit or lies from him. There have been many times where men have acted friendly on the outside, but that was only to just get into the hunt in order to force themselves on her hunters. She wasn't going to fall for any of those tricks. However, she couldn't find any of those signs in Goku. When she read his mind, she only found the same things that he just told her. "Girls, has he hurt or touched any of you? Tell me the truth," Artemis asked her hunters. They all shook their heads. Artemis smiled. "Good. Now then, on to what happened in the winter solstice meeting." Everyone looked at her, waiting for the news. The look on the goddess's face implied that the news was not gonna be pretty. Zeus's master bolt has been stolen. All of the girls gasped. Some even yelled. Goku's eyes frowned in confusion. Who's Zeus? He thought, but he kept that question to himself to let Artemis explain. But how? Who would do such a thing? Zoe asked as she and the rest of the hunters couldn't believe what their lady was saying. The master bolt was Lord Zeus's symbol of power and is regarded as the strongest weapon in the universe. Whoever had the gall to steal it surely had a death wish. Artemis shrugged. I don't know for certain. One moment, Zeus and Poseidon were arguing, and the next moment, my father noticed that his master bolt was missing. He looked everywhere for it, but he couldn't find it. He immediately blamed my uncle, even though we were all watching them bicker, so there was no possible way that he could have taken the bolt. Father argued that Poseidon had someone take it from right under his nose. Then the arguing got worse and worse until Hera had to break them up. Artemis then frowned. Father told my uncle that if he doesn't return the lightning bolt by the summer solstice, there will be war. All of the hunters began yelling and talking over each other. A civil war. That will have so many casualties. We'll probably never be able to recover from something like that. Are we going to have to fight too? One of the younger hunters asked nervously. Enough. Artemis bellowed. It was enough to shut each of the hunters up. The goddess of the moon sighed. I don't know what will happen. Me and the other Olympians are hoping that father will come to his senses and realize that a civil war won't be good for anybody. But it is a big deal. The lightning bolt in the wrong hands is extremely dangerous. Who knows who has it and what they will use it for? Whoever stole it must have known that it would divide us. That's why they did it. And when we are at our weakest. Artemis didn't need to finish in order for everyone to understand the gravity of the situation. Goku was attentively listening to the whole thing as he thought to himself, this is some pretty major stuff. A god's weapon was stolen? That's just a recipe for trouble. So this master bolt or whatever seems like a pretty big deal. If you want, I'm willing to go look for it. A war between gods sounds like it will cost many innocent lives. Goku said as he turned around and was about to fly out of the camp. I'll let you know if I find anything. Wait. Everyone's eyes were locked on Artemis due to her sudden shout. You can't leave. Artemis nervously said. Huh? Why not? Goku asked innocently. Artemis locked eyes with her second in command. Zoe, can we speak in my tent please? Oh of course, Milady. You stay right where you are. I'll be right back. Artemis exclaimed as she practically dragged Zoe by the arm to her tent. Goku looked confused as he saw the two go into the largest tent in the camp. What was that about? Zoe raised an eyebrow as she saw Artemis lock the door and place soundproof barriers. Is something the matter, Milady? Yes, Zoe. There's something I left out that happened during the meeting. However, I was ordered not to tell anyone. But I'm going to tell you since you're my best friend and I trust you will keep it a secret. Of course. You can put your faith in me. Artemis began to rub her temples. Okay, listen carefully as I don't feel like repeating myself. As we were discussing matters during the meeting, my brother Apollo says that he has urgent news. Something that completely changes everything. And what could that be? Zoe asked with curiosity. What else could have her best friend in such a mood? The great prophecy has changed. It took a second for Zoe to comprehend what Artemis just said. I beg your pardon, Milady? You heard me, my lieutenant. I am not joking. Artemis said with the most serious gaze she could muster. But that's impossible. Prophecies don't just change. They're set in stone. And why would the great prophecy change? That was foretold decades ago. For as long as they could remember, prophecies had always been the one thing that remained a constant in the universe. You couldn't change or prevent them, no matter how powerful you were. The greatest example of this was when the Titan Lord Kronos attempted to change his fate of being dethroned by devouring his children. However, that only sealed his fate. Now for the first time in history, a prophecy was changing. Fate itself was being swayed. Did the fates forget to add in a couple of lines or something? Zoe asked sarcastically. Artemis shook her head. No, it is completely different. It honestly took us all by surprise. But that's not all. Apparently, it's not just one, but every single prophecy was being altered. Apollo was about to have a heart attack. You unbelievable, Zoe could only say as she heard the news. This certainly didn't help the current situation. So, was the great prophecy recited again? With the changes? Artemis nodded. This is what my brother foretold. The warrior of the moon shall make his debut and help a half-blood of the eldest gods. Reach 16 against all odds. Master and student they will become. Together they will achieve a great outcome. The two will unite us all. The Titan Lord will meet his demise to the Super Saiyan God. Zoe gasped in shock. She was just beginning to process the implications of the prophecy that her lady just recited. There's so much to unpack there. It's longer than the original. Zoe began to go through each line. A warrior of the moon? Does that refer to you? Artemis shook her head. I asked Apollo the same question, but he confirmed that it wasn't me. However, he did say that this warrior would be someone close to me. According to him, this hero will become my champion. What? But you've never had a champion before. Why start now? I don't know. But Apollo reassured me that this warrior is someone pure of heart. A hero unlike anything the world has ever seen. A legend among legends. The one who will be the key to our survival. Artemis said, surprising Zoe. But who could do that? Who is worthy of becoming your champion? Artemis motioned her head towards the door. It took a second for Zoe to understand her message. No, you're not saying Son Goku. I know it sounds crazy, but I felt something in him. A power so great that I didn't think it was possible for a mortal. But the best part is that I sense no evil intent at all within him. A pure and gentle heart. And yet he has so much power welled up deep inside. I already feel a connection between me and him just by the first glance. I believe the fates brought him to our camp for a reason. This cannot be a coincidence. Artemis said with absolute certainty. There was just a gut feeling in her. Her gut has never lied to her before, and it shouldn't start now. Wow, to think that a mortal male could possess such qualities. Well then, if you're so certain, why don't you let him go search for Lord Zeus's Master Bolt? If he's truly the warrior that the prophecy is talking about, then he could unite us by bringing peace via getting the bolt back. Zoe asked. It's not that simple. If he's really the hero that the great prophecy is referring to, then it is within our best interest to keep him close to us where we can watch him. There's no telling what my father or other deities would do if they found out about him. Knowing my father, he would probably try to smite him due to his paranoia, even though Son Goku is literally the key to our survival. And right now, tensions are high. We can't afford to mess this up, especially given the significance of the last line. That's right. The Titan Lord will meet his demise to the Super Saiyan God. Zoe recited. But that means. That's right. Kronos is reforming. The second Titan War is upon us. And apparently, a Super Saiyan God will be the one to defeat him. Artemis confirmed. But I've never heard of a Super Saiyan God. Zoe said confusingly. Me neither. I'm assuming it's somehow connected to Son Goku. However, he is completely mortal. I sense no godly energy from him at all. Zoe sighed. Oh gods, what a mess. That it is. So now you understand why we must not let Goku leave our sight. If he steps outside of this camp, there will be nothing I can do to protect him. You think the girls are going to like that? We have been preaching for millennia about how evil men are. You expect them to suddenly accept a male into the hunt? They came to us in order to escape men, and now they're going to have to start living with one. Zoe exclaimed. She, along with many of the hunters, have had terrible experiences with men. Artemis gave them a home where they can feel safe and secure. And now the very purpose of the hunt is being contradicted. Artemis looked at her lieutenant apologetically. I understand your concern. But this is bigger than me or you. The fate of the world is at stake. We're just going to have to put our faith that this will work out. But I wouldn't be doing this if I was 100% sure of the safety of my hunters. You girls are everything to me. I would never endanger any of you. So you're just going to have to trust me on this. Zoe huffed. She sighed and smiled. Fine. I'll put my faith in humility. But if I even see him look at you, or any one of the hunters the wrong way, I will personally deliver the punishment. The goddess chuckled. Of course. The two exited the tent and returned back to the others. They found the hunters giving Goku death glares. Phoebe kept her hand on her bow at all times as she watched Goku for any threatening moves. Goku felt uncomfortable under their gaze. Geez. Why are they looking at me like that? Artemis saw this and sympathized with Goku. He hasn't done anything wrong. It wasn't his fault that the hunters had bad experiences with other men. She took some of the blame for that. She has always told them to avoid men at all costs. Now Goku was receiving unfair judgment. Okay girls, I have an announcement to make. Artemis yelled. The hunters turned their attention to their goddess and began to wait in anticipation for what she had to announce. Son Goku will be staying with us from now on. Chaos. That was the only word that could describe what transpired next. The hunters all simultaneously voiced their opinions on Artemis's announcement. And they were not happy. Is this a joke? April Fool's has long passed, you know? Phoebe said with a sneer. No. This is no joke, my niece. Artemis replied. Are you out of your mind? Phoebe shouted. She pointed at Goku. He is a man. What is literally the point of the hunt? To stay away from men. Do you see the problem here? Why would you allow such a disgusting pig like him to even step foot here? Hey. That's not nice. Goku whined. He didn't appreciate them talking about him as if he wasn't there. Quiet you. Or I'll shoot you where the sun doesn't shine. Yeah. You shut up. No men are allowed here. Get out. Kill him. All of the hunters were getting riled up as they were about to read their weapons and all charge at Goku until they heard a yell. Shut up. Zoe screamed at the top of her lungs. Her face implied that she was furious. She glared at all of the hunters with rage. Do you even realize who you're speaking to? You're lucky that Lady Artemis didn't blast you on the spot. How dare you disrespect the woman that took you in when the world rejected you? She then pointed at Goku. Look. I get it. He's a male. We are supposed to hate males. But understand that this man has not done a single thing wrong to any of you. Also, why would Lady Artemis allow him in here without a purpose? Do you really think she would endanger all of you like that? No, right? So shut up and trust her. Give Goku a chance. If he does anything to any of you, I'll personally deal with him myself. Now shut up and continue doing what we've always been doing. The hunters were speechless at Zoe's outburst. They never thought she would defend a man so vigorously. Especially after her experience. Artemis had her arms crossed as she let her lieutenant scold them. Now apologize. Both Goku and Melody. The hunters were easily able to apologize to Artemis. To Goku, however, it took a little pushing, but they eventually did. It took some talking with Zoe to get Phoebe to do it, but she eventually conceded as she didn't want to suffer the wrath of her lieutenant. Artemis looked up to the sky. Looks like my brother is just about done riding the sun. I'm going to have to get ready to ride my moon chariot soon. She looked at Zoe. Show Goku to his tent. Make sure the girls don't try to kill him in his sleep tonight. I should be back by morning. Understood, Melody. Come Goku, follow me. Goku was laying in his bed staring up at the ceiling. He has been tossing and turning for hours, but he couldn't sleep. He had so much on his mind. He's now in a new world. A goddess has him stuck with her group of man-hating maidens who can all use a bow and arrow well, and now he has to worry about them trying to castrate him. He still doesn't know what that means. Goku got up. I need some fresh air. He silently opened his door. He looked around and saw everyone was already in their tents, fast asleep. He flew away from the camp to the far ends of the forest, making sure there was enough distance so that he didn't wake anyone up. Once he found a nice spot, he grinned. Okay, let's see if I still have all of my powers. Goku's hair and aura turned gold. His eyes were now teal and his hair was spiked up. His muscles got a little bigger as well. Okay, that's Super Saiyan. Seems normal so far. Although I do feel a lot stronger than I was at the Tournament of Power. Goku powered up again and this time, blue electricity surrounded his aura as his hair became spikier. His aura was darker and his muscles bulged slightly. Super Saiyan 2 looks fine. Goku's power began to increase rapidly as his hair grew long and the electricity around him became more erratic and sharper. His eyebrows disappeared and his power level exploded. Super Saiyan 3 is all good. HMPH. This is weird. Why am I not feeling my stamina go down like it usually does when I use this form? It feels like I'm using my base form. Goku said, confused. While Super Saiyan 3 gives you amazing strength and speed, it comes with a major stamina drawback. The longer you stay in the form, the more energy you rapidly lose. It isn't ideal for long drawn-out fights. Which is why Goku never even used it at all in the Tournament of Power. He only showed it to Caulifla and Kale for a brief second before powering down. But for some reason, Goku wasn't feeling any of the effects at all. He was going to check that out later. Alright, now let's go into the realm of the gods. Goku's body slimmed down. A fiery red aura ignited him as his hair went back to its original hairstyle, only for it to be colored crimson red. On Mount Olympus, a certain gray-eyed Olympane noticed a surge of godly energy. What is this? I've never felt the presence of an immortal like this before. A goddess in the form of an 8-year-old, who was currently tending to the hearth, sensed the same thing. Interesting, she said with a smile. Back with Goku, he was pleased with his current form. Wow. And it looks like Super Saiyan God got a boost too. I think it's now stronger than my Super Saiyan Blue form during the Tournament of Power. Goku's aura then switched from a fiery red to a calm and serene blue. His hair was back to the first Super Saiyan hairstyle, but it was now colored blue as well as his eyes. And Super Saiyan Blue is even stronger than that. And I don't feel the stamina drain like with Super Saiyan 3. I'm going to really figure out why that is. Goku dropped down to his base form. He took a deep breath and closed his eyes. Now for the real test. Let's see if I can now do this at will. During the Tournament of Power, Goku was able to tap into the Omen of Ultra Instinct 3 times. But in all 3 of those times, his body automatically did it for him. He never actually willingly transformed into the state. And he couldn't maintain the form for long periods of time. It was even more stamina draining than Super Saiyan 3, Kakarot, and Super Saiyan Blue combined. After seeing that his control with Blue and SSJ3 have gotten better, he was hoping that it would translate to Ultra Instinct now. He was only able to keep the mastered form for about a minute. Even less. So hopefully it will last a little bit longer than that now. Goku focused and looked deep within himself. He remembered the sensation. He remembered his state of pure calmness and focus. He emptied his mind of all thoughts and emotions. A couple moments passed by before he finally said, "Ultra Instinct." Immediately, the area around him began to shake. The wind and the tides became restless as thunder roared and the earth moved. His hair and eyes blew silver as a white-hot flame surrounded his aura. His body became much more muscular as it would put Adonis to shame. Pure power radiated off of him as he reached a realm where even the gods couldn't. Goku smiled in victory. Yahoo! I did it! This is awesome! Whoa, this form feels amazing. It has so much power, but yet, I feel so light. I can feel my stamina dropping passively, but it isn't anywhere near as bad as in the Tournament of Power. If I were to guess, I'd say I can use this form for about 15 to 20 minutes before getting tired. Wow, how in the world is that even possible? His tail began to wag as a white-hot flame surrounded it. Goku looked at his tail with intrigue. Is it because of my tail? Really? I didn't know it was that useful. I thought it was only needed to go Great Ape, but it turns out I was wrong. This thing rocks. Unbeknownst to Goku, his transformation into Ultra Instinct was noticed by a few individuals. By the gods. What is this pressure? It's insane. No god should be that powerful. Athena, goddess of war and wisdom, exclaimed as she dropped the book she was reading. Due to the shock of Goku's transformation, I have to check this out. Hester widened her eyes in awe. Such white-hot flames, I feel like they can burn everything to ash. Another goddess on Olympus noticed the huge burst of power. She was testing out her new lingerie on her full-body mirror, only for her to fall to the floor due to the pressure of Goku's transformation. What the Hades? Aphrodite, goddess of love, sex, and passion, exclaimed as she got back up. What is going on? Show me where all of that power is coming from. She ordered her full-body mirror. The mirror showed her Goku in his Ultra Instinct state. As soon as she laid eyes on the Saiyan beyond God, drool escaped from her mouth as lust seeped from her eyes. Oh my chaos, who is that? Aphrodite yelled. Her eyes roamed his body, making sure to get every inch. So hot. Literally. I have to meet him. I must. A piece of meat like that should not be wasted. Is he a god? I've never seen him before. I have to get my hands on him before anyone else does. Meanwhile with Goku, the Saiyan was just admiring his new form. This is crazy. And to think that I still feel that there's something beyond even this. Goku dropped back to his base. I'd better keep most of my forms a secret for now. I don't want to be attracting any unwanted attention from any gods or other beings. Not before I get used to the inner workings of this world. Goku then gripped his right fist and smirked. The Tournament of Power really opened my eyes. It showed me what I'm really capable of. No way I'm staying at the same level now. I'm going to get stronger and stronger. I ain't stopping here. Son Goku will have to keep getting stronger. His presence in this world has caused many butterfly effects. And those goddesses were not the only ones who felt his transformation into Ultra Instinct. Ancient evils are aware of him. Goku is going to have to get even stronger if he wants to preserve the existence of this universe. The story of Goku, the Saiyan raised on Earth, is over. Now, the tale of Son Goku, the Greek Saiyan god, begins. Where is he? I swear he always gets lazy in the winter. Artemis groaned as she stood by her moon chariot, waiting impatiently for her twin brother to arrive and begin riding the sun. It was already past 7 a.m. She needed to get back to her hunters. They should be waking up soon. There was a bright flash, and there appeared in all of his glory, Apollo, god of the sun, light, archery, truth, disease, plague, music, art, poetry, reason, knowledge and prophecies. He had blue eyes along with sunny and shining blonde hair. Sorry little sis, a couple things came up. For how many more millennia do I have to tell you? I came out of mother first. Artemis's eyes widened when she took a good look at Apollo. Being the god of the sun and light, he always had a brightening smile, and his presence alone was able to lift the mood of any room. However, he didn't look anything like his usual self. There were large bags under his eyes, he was pale, like Hades pale, and he seemed so deprived of life and energy. As if he was about to drop any minute. "Oh, are you okay? What's gotten into you?" Artemis asked worryingly. Although they bicker back and forth and disagree on a lot of things, the twin archers do still care for one another as brothers and sisters should. Apollo put on a fake smile. "Me? I'm fine. Everything is all right. Why do you ask?" Artemis crossed her arms and frowned at her brother. "Apollo, we were literally in the same womb together. If there's anyone in the world you can't hide anything from, it's me." The sun god sighed in defeat. "You really do know me well, Artie." Artemis gave him a cheeky grin. "Of course I do. I'm your big sister. Now spit it out. What's wrong?" "I haven't slept in like a week," Apollo said casually. "What?" Artemis looked at Apollo as if he had grown a second head. "What do you mean, you haven't slept in a week? Why not? You know the meeting we had yesterday? Where I said that every single prophecy is changing?" Apollo told Artemis with the biggest monotone voice. "Yes, what of it?" "Well, I've kind of been having these visions. They started about a week ago. In those visions, I saw a planet being destroyed. And then it showed a baby with weird spiky hair growing up to be a warrior. The vision showed me many great battles. But they all happened so fast that I wasn't really able to remember them in much detail. But by the end of the visions, I saw the same man, whose story I was watching, have silver hair and silver eyes, with a white flame surrounding him. His aura, his power, everything, was just so surreal." Apollo then dropped to his knees in exhaustion, "And then last night, I felt it. The same power I felt in my visions, the same exact aura. He was here. Somewhere. I don't know where, but he was out there. It felt like the whole world was shaking at one point. Everyone must have felt that. Dad damn near had a heart attack. He immediately called me and Hermes and told us to look for the energy source. We went to where we felt it from, but as soon as it appeared, it vanished. So that's what it was. I was wondering where the tremor came from. I almost fell off of my chariot." The moon goddess then scrunched her eyes. "So that's what's got you worked up? The visions about the man with silver hair and eyes?" "Not just that." Apollo got back from his knees. "This man, I think it's the same one the great prophecy is talking about. The warrior of the moon." "You mean, my champion?" Artemis asked with a gasp. Apollo nodded. "Exactly. The one who will slay Kronos." Artemis grabbed his shoulders enthusiastically. "Where did you and Hermes feel it from again?" "Well, now that you mention it, it was actually near where your hunters are camped right now." Her eyes widened as color began to drain from her face. "What?" "Don't worry, they're fine. Nothing happened to them. But the energy was near there. We searched everywhere but we couldn't find the source. It's like it just vanished." Artemis sighed in relief. "Thank chaos." Artemis then grew a worried face as she asked her brother another question. "Ah, so the man in your visions. What exactly did he look like?" Apollo hummed. "Well, for starters, he had a crazy hairstyle. It pointed in every direction, like it defied gravity somehow. He was ripped too. Like think of Adonis and Hercules, but like times 10. Oh, and he always wore this orange uniform, with some weird symbol on the back and front. Kind of like a kung fu master or something." With every word Apollo spoke, Artemis's jaw began to drop and drop as she realized her suspicions were being proven true. There was only one man with that description. Son Goku. Artemis thought. "Hey, you alright?" Apollo asked as he looked at Artemis with a weird look. I gotta go. My hunters need me. Make sure to get some rest." Artemis was about to flash back to camp before Apollo grabbed her arm. "What is it? I told you I need to go," Artemis yelled in annoyance. "Just one more thing, sis. This man I saw in my visions, he's different. Unlike any hero I've ever seen before. He's unbelievably strong, but his heart is pure. He's the exact opposite of what you tell your hunters to stay away from. I think in time, you will come to recognize that as well. He will change you and the hunters for the better. Artemis humphed, we'll see about that. Artemis then smiled at her brother, thanks though. You should go get some rest. Apollo let go of her, meh, I'll be fine. He summoned his chariot and began to ride the sun as the sky lightened up, commencing the day. You smell like a monkey. One of the wolves that watches over Artemis's hunt said in Goku's mind. The silver-tailed young Saiyan god looked over at the wolf with white-coated fur with a sheepish smile on his face. He assumed that this wolf was the alpha of the pack, since he was front and center, and Goku could sense the most strength from him. Well, you're technically not wrong. Goku replied as his silver tail started to slowly wag. You don't smell like a demigod, god, or monster. But you're practically reeking off power. And yet, you're gentle. Just what are you? The alpha wolf asked as the rest of his pack all looked at Goku with curious gazes and sniffed him taking in his monkey scent. Goku awkwardly laughed as the wolves all took turns observing him. Well, that's easy. I'm Son Goku. Or Kakarot, but you can just call me Goku. Goku chirped as he began his warm-up stretches. The sun was just about to rise, and he wanted to start his workout bright and early. Goku, you are a creature that I've never seen before. But if Lady Artemis trusts you, then me and my brothers will as well. The alpha wolf told the Saiyan god, and he only smirked before beginning his workout. The wolves watched on as Goku performed many different combinations of strikes. He wanted to get used to his new body and make sure his reflexes and senses were still up to par. When he had tested out his transformations last night, Goku knew that there was something different about him. He had excellent practice with all of his forms and had gotten the hang of most of them, minus Ultra Instinct. But when he tested out his forms for the first time since coming into this new world, his control and strength with each transformation was so much higher than it should have been. Maybe it was because of a Zenkai boost from his injuries in the Tournament of Power, but no Zenkai had made him grow so much. Super Saiyan 3 and Blue should not have felt like his base forms. The only form he really felt any type of drawback from was Ultra Instinct. But that was to be expected since it literally was about to kill him during the Tournament of Power. But even in the Tournament of Power, his Ultra Instinct only lasted at best a minute or two. Now, that time limit has been increased to 15 minutes. And it was way stronger than in the tournament. I gotta figure out what's going on with me. The 3 old ladies told me that my body changed back to its prime, which is why I look younger. I also grew a new silver tail. It could be just that, but I know there's something more. Wait, didn't those ladies also give me some sort of string? They said I control my own fate now, whatever that means. Goku then decided to take a page out of Piccolo's book and got into a lotus position. The Saiyan closed his eyes and began to clear his mind and meditate. Piccolo has told Goku that meditating is an excellent form of training as it allows one to look within themselves and call upon their inner power. Due to his calm state, Goku was able to practically become one with nature. He felt the presence of the plants, trees, wildlife, and the wind. He sat completely still, simply looking within himself, trying to find the answer to his new power. Birds that were flying felt attracted to Goku and landed beside him. A few of them rested on his shoulders and chirped happily. The wolves looked on in amazement as they never witnessed a mortal be so in tune with nature. They all circled around Goku and felt at ease with the Saiyan. They were drawn towards his purity and calmness that came from his meditation. Goku was connecting himself to nature itself and drawing upon the energy of it. Just like how he would do when he performs the Jinkidama, only now he was simply absorbing the energy into himself and not outwardly to create a ball. The Kai from this planet is astounding. Much more powerful and dense than the Earth I came from. It doesn't even compare. Goku mentally said to himself as he went deeper and deeper into his meditation. The deeper he went, the more dense and powerful the Kai became. There was an abundance of it. The Earth itself was responding to Goku and allowing his energy to flow in. He felt the energy of the Earth touching his own. This is weird. Why does it feel like the Earth is alive? Like it has its own consciousness and soul. Goku went deeper into his trance. He saw that the Earth was in pain. Like it had been traumatized and scarred. He also sensed the vibration of loneliness, pain and suffering. Negative spiritual energy was amassing itself within the Earth and was building up over time and was getting to a dangerous point. Oh no. This Earth has way too much negative Kai in it. If I leave it as is, there's no telling what could happen to it. Goku decided that the best way to fix this issue was to simply share his own energy and life force with the earth. It was only building up negativity because it had become too great and became the only energy source that it knew. Giving it his Kai should help cleanse and purify it a bit. Once Goku did so, the earth graciously accepted his offering. All of the bad energy began to dissolve itself, and he felt a feeling of gratefulness from the earth. Their two energies mixed together, and he allowed the earth to flow into him. All of a sudden, Goku felt a spike of pressure and energy in his mind. The earth was going through his memories, experiencing his life as if it were a movie. The earth sympathized and empathized with Goku, and the Saiyan did the same as he felt memories and emotions from the entity as well. Kakarot. Huh? Goku thought he was hearing things. Did the earth just speak? Goku knew he wasn't crazy. He just heard the earth speak. So it does have a consciousness after all. Does it have a physical form? Let me try to see it. Goku went even further in his mediation as he began to astral project. He appeared in a black void similar to that of space. He kept looking around until he sensed another presence there with him. He turned around and saw the consciousness that had spoken to him. She was a young and beautiful woman. The most gorgeous female Goku had ever seen. She had vibrant green hair and eyes. They shine just like the grass and leaves of trees. Her hair was free-flowingly long and went past her knees. Her body was thin and slender with an herculean figure, but it was voluptuous with a large chest and plump rear. She wore a woman's ancient Greek toga, but it was brown in color, like the color of wood. All of this coupled with a perfect face that exuded the beauty of the earth. A goddess in every sense of the word. Goku stared at her for a couple of moments. It was just like meeting Artemis for the first time. He was entrapped by her beauty. Goku got a weird feeling in his stomach as he set his eyes on her. The feeling was similar to having butterflies in your stomach, but in a good way. He could already tell she was a goddess just from the way she presented herself, but Goku did sense God Kai from her. And she had a lot. It felt like having all of the energy of the planet being manifested in one person. He could tell she was strong, which made him curious about how powerful she was. They kept on with the staring contest until the goddess decided to break the silence. You have such majestic eyes. Goku blinked. My eyes? What do you mean? Goku never heard much compliments about his eyes. They were just ordinary black. What's so special about them? They are such a beautiful silver color. Similar to the moon, but much more vibrant, potent, and alluring. She said as she kept gazing at Goku with a luscious smile. The Saiyan warrior was about to correct her, saying his eyes are black, until he realized what form he was in. Wait a minute, when did I transform into Ultra Instinct? I didn't even notice until she pointed out my eyes. I guess I did it subconsciously in my deep meditation. But it doesn't feel like my stamina is passively draining. It still feels similar to my base. Goku grabbed one of his bangs close to his eye. My hair is still black though. I see, I'm only in the omen of Ultra Instinct. Not the completed form. That's why I didn't notice. Goku then looked towards the goddess. Ah, thanks. Your eyes are pretty, too. They remind me of grass and leaves. The goddess slightly blushed at Goku's compliment as she didn't expect the Den Saiyan to flirt back, which he was doing unknowingly. But she calmed down as she did not want to embarrass herself in front of the man who relieved her of her pain. Hey, you said something earlier. I forgot what it was. It was a strange word. Katha something. Katharos. She repeated. Yeah, that. Ah, what is that, and why did you say it? Goku asked curiously. He had never heard of a word like that in his life. It sounded fancy. It's a Greek word that means free from the admixture or adhesion of anything that soils, adulterates or corrupts. Say, what now? Sorry, I didn't quite understand that. Could you maybe simplify it for me, please? I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Goku sheepishly said as the meaning of the word completely flew over his head. What does adulterate mean? The woman angelically laughed at Goku's dense nature. Her laugh was music to Goku's ears. No one's laugh has ever been as melancholic as this goddess's. It reminded him of the serene noise of nature. Don't worry about it, son Goku. To put it in simple terms, it means you are pure and clean. Unsoiled or unalloyed. She explained, but that only confused Goku more. Wait, how do you know my name? The Saiyan didn't remember telling the woman his name, so could she have automatically known it? I saw parts of your memories. Remember when our energies merged? I was able to look inside your soul and see some of your most treasured times in your life. And I must say, it was a sight to see. Your life may have been the greatest story I have ever seen. That's saying something considering what I have seen and been through. And I have lived for a long time. Oh, I see. That makes sense. I guess I was trying to connect with you, and I instinctually opened my memories to you. Wait a minute, what's your name? Goku wished to know the name of the magnificent goddess before him. My name is Gaia. It is a delight to formally meet you, Son Goku. The primordial properly introduced herself. Gaia, huh? So you're a goddess, right? What's your job or domain? I bet it's something important, considering how much power and energy I'm reading from you. It's a huge amount. Goku noted that Gaia's Kai was one of the highest he had ever sensed. Her presence alone gave off immense pressure and vibration, even though they were currently just in an astral plane and not in the physical realm. Gaia's Kai seemed to be even higher than that of a god of destruction. Gaia smirked at Goku's naivety. Oh sweetheart, I think you can figure that out pretty easily. You felt my energy yourself. What do you think I'm the goddess of? Goku took a couple of seconds to think to himself, but then face-palmed as the answer was obvious. You're the goddess of Earth. It makes so much sense. When I was connecting with the Earth, that was you. That was the consciousness I felt. But it's weird. Because it was as if the Earth itself was alive. Gaia chuckled, that's because it is. I am the Earth. That's so strange, but cool at the same time. I never thought planets could be alive and have their own spirit. Goku then asked something else that was on his mind. Hey, you said that word that means pure and clean, why did you say it? It was the first thing Gaia had said to him and it still lingered in his mind. I said that because it's the perfect word to describe your soul. As I watched the key moments of your life, I was in awe at the fact that no matter what happened, you always remained true to yourself and never let anything or anybody stop you on your path. You were incorruptible, even after learning about your heritage, and stayed true to the teachings of your masters and to your friends and family. You fought, trained, and never gave up hope, no matter the circumstance. An uncarved wood. Thanks, but I was just a guy who wanted to fight and continue improving myself. I never have seen myself as righteous or pure, in the way that you're saying. The three old ladies had told Goku something similar. And while he can't argue that he has done some good things for others, his limit-breaking sacrifice being a testament to that, he within himself has never viewed himself as such. He fights and protects his loved ones, and that's it. Gaia smiled, knowing Goku was going to say something like that, and that's the most amazing part. You did it unconsciously. Nobody ever needed to tell you what the right thing to do was. You just did it. Of course, you aren't perfect, but no one is. Not even gods. Trust me, I know. Have some pride in yourself. Yeah, I guess you have a point. You aren't the first person to tell me something like that. I won't be the last. Gaia then began slowly walking towards Goku, her hips moving in a peculiar way, which confused him. As Gaia got closer and closer to the Saiyan, her face adorned a smile, but it wasn't like any of the smiles she had given Goku earlier. It was a smile that showed wanton lust. It unnerved Goku a little and he raised his guard, preparing himself for whatever the goddess was about to do. Relax, I'm not going to hurt you, never in my dreams, Gaia said seductively. Why are you talking like that? Goku was feeling a little uncomfortable at the tone of her voice. Gaia ignored his question and kept walking towards him, a mortal who surpassed the gods themselves. That is something unheard, even in this world. A man whose soul is pure of malice, but a body that is strong enough to defeat any foe that comes his way. Truly a god amongst men. A warrior whose will cannot be destroyed as it was powerful enough to transcend time itself. At this point, Gaia had already reached Goku and was in front of him. She was dangerously close as she gave the Saiyan no personal space. The green-haired primordial slowly wrapped her slender and soft arms around the silver-eyed warrior's neck. Her touch was gentle, like that of a caring mother. A touch that was foreign to Goku as he never had a mother figure in his life. Her touch was calming, just like the feeling of laying down on the grass after a long day of training. A perfect match to be my king. Goku's heart skipped a beat. Her words made the pure-blooded Saiyan feel a sensation that only one other woman had ever made him feel. Gaia had awakened something in Goku that he didn't think he would ever experience. The downfall of every red-blooded male. The weakness that every man has to face and overcome in their lives. The one that the majority of males lose to. The one that they can never escape. Lust. Goku's silver tail wagged. The tail must have been reacting to the new sensation Goku was getting from Gaia. He looked into her eyes and saw pure beauty, love, and care. She represented what Goku loved. Earth. His entire life, Goku had fought and protected his home from any threat, even sacrificing himself multiple times for it. He cared and cherished it, even though it wasn't the planet he was born on. But he never cared. He was always grateful for the Earth and its people. It was his home. He accepted his Saiyan heritage, but Earth will always be his true home, and he will always be an Earthling. Now, Earth herself had her arms around him. Join me, son Goku. Become one with me. Be my king. Gaia began to bring her pink lips close to Goku's mouth, offering herself to the Saiyan beyond God. All of Goku's instincts were yelling at him to take her. His Saiyan side tells him to claim his mate and reproduce with the goddess. Goku remembered Vegeta saying something along the lines of Saiyan men naturally gravitating towards strong women. And here was a primordial goddess being the earth itself, which Goku loves and cherishes, offering herself to Goku with open arms. Any red-blooded male would have jumped at the chance to be with the mother goddess. And now for the first time in his life, Goku was struggling with his own instincts. The very nature of Ultra Instinct was to stop thinking and allow your body to make the choices for you. It was obvious what his body wanted. His omen form was pushing itself against Goku's very own will. What's happening to me? I can't control myself. How is she doing this to me? Is this a spell? No, it's not. But why am I having so much trouble resisting her? I think my body is taking over me. Goku was having an internal battle with his instinct. Mother Nature herself was closing in on Goku, as her lips were just millimeters away from his. The closer she got, the more difficult it became to resist. Any other man would have already caved. But Goku was not like any other man. He kept on struggling and struggling, not backing down to his carnal desires. Right as Gaia was about to kiss him, Goku grabbed her shoulders and pushed away with authority. I'm sorry Earth, I mean Gaia, but I have a wife, he said with a low voice as he looked down at the ground. Gaia's eyes widened in both astonishment and horror. She was astonished because every other male in the universe would have gladly taken her as their queen. To be able to resist her charms is arguably disrespectful to her womanhood. She was shocked to see such unwavering loyalty from Goku to his wife, Chi-Chi. That was rare, especially in her pantheon where immortals were known for their countless affairs and promiscuity. From both the gods and goddesses. Rarely are they ever loyal to their spouses. But she was horrified because the one man who could love and care for her rejected her. In Gaia's mind, an act like that could only be seen as blasphemous and downright idiotic. You don't love me, son Goku? Gaia's voice faltered as she said those words. Just saying them brought so much pain to her heart. I do. I really do love you, Earth. But, I just can't. I love Chi-Chi. This would be a betrayal to her. And I can't allow myself to do that. Goku said with pain in his voice. He was still looking at the ground. He was so ashamed that he couldn't bring himself to look Gaia in the eyes. Goku had won against his very own instincts. His will was strong enough to surpass his lust and not allow himself to betray his love for Chi-Chi, the mother of his children. Chi-Chi, you're still attached to that mortal. You do realize that you're never gonna see her again, right? You understand that, don't you? Goku didn't respond as he kept looking at his feet, avoiding eye contact with the primordial. Answer me, sweetheart. Goku clenched his fists. He looked at his own 2 feet in sadness and anger. He didn't want to answer her question, but he knew he had to. Yes. This moment was the most defeated Goku had ever felt. No villain before this had accomplished this. Then why? Gaia walked back towards Goku, just as she did before, but now instead of her steps being seductive, they were now building up rage and agony. Why? Gaia once again was in front of the Saiyan. But this time she gave him a couple inches of personal space. Her green eyes locked directly on him, filled with fury and hurt. Why won't you take and love me? Gaia screamed at the top of her lungs. That shout caused the entire planet to shake for a split moment. Every living being could feel the vibration of the Earth's agony. They could feel her sadness and fury, even if they didn't know it. I already told you. I have a wife. I love Chi-Chi. Goku responded in a monotone voice. And again, I ask you, why do you still feel attached to that mortal? Goku frowned at the way Gaia used the word mortal. Gaia, she's the mother of my children. Is that what it is? You want children? I'll give you as many as children as you want. All of them being just as precious and beautiful as Gohan and Goten. They can be whatever race you want. You can train them as much as you want. They can be warriors just like you. I know you always wanted a child to train with. But you never were given the opportunity because Chichi wanted Gohan and Goten to be scholars. Actually, I did train Gohan for a bit, same thing with Goten. Goku corrected the goddess. But was it as much as you liked? Think about it. You could train these children much more than you ever could than with Gohan and Goten. The perfect training partners for you. An endless amount of fighting. You will be tested by our children numerous times, and as a result, you will only keep improving and becoming stronger yourself. Isn't that your dream? Isn't that what you desire? I could give it to you. Gaia was playing at Goku's weakness. She knew something like that would be irresistible to him. The prospect to continue fighting strong opponents and taking on students of his own who each have the possibility of surpassing him. There was no way he was turning that down, right? Goku grit his teeth. As much as I would love that, the answer is still no. Gaia stared at the Saiyan. She was dreaming, right? This wasn't real life. This must be a joke. A cruel joke that the fates were playing on her. But wait a minute, the fates have no control over Goku. They gave him his string of fate. He is the dictator of his own actions. What more do you want? Gaia shrieked at the man who would dare deny her. You will be the king of the universe. We will rule this realm indefinitely. If we join together, nobody will be able to stop us. Not even my mother. You will have me as your eternal wife. I will give you anything. I will do anything for you. I will only serve you. I'll give myself to you for all of eternity. Gaia was getting desperate. She couldn't let Goku reject her. If she let him go, then she might never receive this opportunity again and lose him forever. I don't want to be the king of anything. Goku blankly replied, still not giving Gaia eye contact. That's a lie. Every man wants to be king. Every man wants a goddess as a lover. You're lying, son Goku. I sensed lust from you earlier. You wanted so bad to take me right then and there. But you resisted. Don't lie to me, Saiyan. Is it really a lie, Gaia? Do you really believe that I'm lying? Or is it just your desperation telling you that? Goku's words hit her like a bus. She realized that he was right. She was just saying anything to try to convince Goku at this point. She knew he wasn't that type of guy. He was unlike any other man. Okay, but just listen to me. I will treat and love you better than that harpy ever could. Goku immediately shot up and grabbed Gaia by the shoulders. He pulled her close to him so that he could see him in his eyes. His silver eyes showed nothing but righteous fury and power. Burning white flames began to surround Goku as his power kept on rising. His body was reacting to his anger and grief. Sweat trickled down Gaia's face as she felt the high temperatures of Goku aura. His power made her feel fear. An emotion that a being of her status doesn't feel quite often, if at all. She was arguably the strongest in her universe besides her mother, of course. There were very few beings that could stand up to her. And here was Goku, a mortal man, scaring the life out of her with his mere aura alone. If there was anybody that she didn't want to get on their bad side, it was the Saiyan beyond God. Ironically, this turned her on even more. Her name is Chichi. Don't ever disrespect her like that in my presence again. Goku's voice was silent but powerful. It sent a chill down the Earth Goddess's spine. No man had ever made her feel this way. Not Uranos nor Tartarus. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. Gaia felt like she was being scolded. It was embarrassing. But she had no choice. If she didn't, there was no telling what Goku would do to her in this state. Good. Goku calmed down. The white flames disappeared and his aura went back to the normal peaceful state of Ultra Instinct. Gaia breathed a sigh of relief. She much preferred this side of Goku. I apologize for being disrespectful towards her in front of you. I should already know that you still have love and care for her. However, my point still stands. Your wife Chichi, your sons Gohan and Goten, and everyone else that you know and love are gone. You will never be able to see them again. I empathize with your loss and grief, but you have to accept that and move on. You died a hero in your world according to them. The fates have already explained that story is over. Now it is time for your new story to begin. Chichi and the others are going to have to move on without you as well. So why can't you do the same? Gaia more calmly described the situation to Goku. Maybe her previous strategy of seduction wasn't the best way to go. She should have known that was never going to work on Goku. However, this method should make it easier for Goku to understand the reality of what's going on. Goku listened to what Gaia said, and he knew that every word that came out of her mouth was true. He knew he had to accept this new reality. This is his home now for the rest of his life, and there isn't really much that he can do about it. He doesn't think there are any Dragon Balls in this dimension, so it's not like he can wish to go back. Goku gulped in shock as he just realized there are no Dragon Balls. A world without Dragon Balls. Goku never thought he would ever come across something like this. Without the Dragon Balls, Goku would have never started his journey with Bulma. All of the friends and foes he made along the way, none of it would have happened. It was thanks to the Dragon Balls that he and the Z Fighters were able to get bailed out of so many scenarios. Now, there wasn't that possibility. What happens now is what happens. And he can't do anything to reverse it. I think now you're really starting to understand the gravity of this situation you're in. Gaia said as she saw Goku come to the realization of no Dragon Balls. You're going to outlive your wife and sons. They will have to go about the rest of their lives without you. And you without them. Are you really sure you want to go the rest of your existence in loneliness and pain? Mourning them forever? Goku shrugged his shoulders. I'm only mortal. It's not like I'm going to live forever. I'll die eventually and the pain will end. Gaia laughed at the Saiyan's ignorance. How are you so sure about that? You do realize that in a way, you are a god too, right? Your body may still be mortal, but your Kai and life force is now of the gods. You even transcended that, and your Kai has surpassed that of the gods. How do you know how long you are going to live? Combine that with your Saiyan biology, there's no telling how long you can remain in your prime. It can be millennia before you die naturally, if at all. And knowing you, you're constantly going to be training, pushing your body to the limit, getting stronger endlessly, fighting numerous opponents. Are you going to wait until someone finally kills you in battle? Time itself couldn't even kill you. Think about that. You will be in an endless cycle of pain and grief. And you won't be able to help yourself. Goku began to panic. The words of Mother Nature now seeping into him. The harsh reality of his fate. An endless cycle of mourning and pain? Would any amount of fighting and training help him cope with that? You're lying. Vegeta said that Saiyans start to age once they hit 80 years old. Saiyans and humans also have around the same lifespan. I'm 43 years old right now, so give or take another 40 years, I should be good. You're 43 years old, mentally. But that doesn't mean you are currently 43 years old physically. Have you ever taken a look at yourself? You have noticed that you appear to be young, correct? Why is that? Vegeta was correct in terms of Saiyans under normal circumstances. Are you a typical Saiyan under normal circumstances? Who knows what could have happened to your body when you went through the time rift? I don't believe you fully understand yet, do you? As of right now, you are in a state that not even the gods can easily master, and you're doing it so effortlessly. A normal Saiyan wouldn't be able to do that, not even in his dreams. I'll just wait until I'm 80 and see for myself. And when I die, I'll see Chi-Chi and the others in the other world. Now who's the one turning to desperation? Gaia smirked at the reaction she got from Goku when she said that. The tables have now turned in her favor just like that. Her strategy was working. She sensed that Goku was beginning to lose hope in ever seeing his old friends and family again. The torture of mourning endlessly for eons doesn't seem to be all that appealing to the Saiyan beyond God. He buried his face in his hands in disbelief. No, this can't be. I never wanted this. So why did this happen to me? It isn't fair. Goku was on the verge of tears. Gaia felt her heart break seeing the one who helped her in pain. She caressed Goku softly as she tried to calm him down. It's okay. Calm down. You're not alone. I can help. Take my offer and you won't have to deal with the mourning and grief. You'll have me and we can live out the rest of eternity together. We both get what we want. You get your cure from the pain, mourning, and suffering, along with children who you can train and cultivate into warriors. Who will also be your training partners and help you get even stronger. And I get the family that I always wanted. Sounds like a fair deal, right? Now the mother goddesses had the Saiyan right where she wanted him. It was only a matter of time before he caved and accepted her as his eternal lover. Goku removed his hands from his vase and looked Gaia in the eyes once again. He had calmed down, a good part of it being due to the goddess's natural maternal and caring touch. His silver eyes had the look of determination and will. Gaia rejoiced internally as she believed she had won the hero over. I will move on. Goku announced. Gaia beamed with happiness hearing his answer. I'm glad that you finally saw reason. But I'm going to do so on my own. My own way. What? What did you say, my beloved? Goku sighed. You heard me, Gaia. I have to take this journey on my own. As much as I would like to take your offer, I just can't. It still feels like a betrayal to Chichi in a way. And I would be lying if I said that every part of me has already accepted that I'm stuck here and there's no way to go back. Meaning that I will never see them again. I'll miss them for sure, it may hurt, and I might have trouble sleeping at night. But I will get over it. I will move on. It will take time, but I believe in myself. I'll always cherish my memories from my past life, but now it is time to create new memories. With new friends, family, teachers, and foes. Memories that will last me a lifetime. As a Saiyan, it would be disrespectful to my people and my legacy if I did anything less. Gaia stared at the Saiyan as if he had grown a second head. But Goku stared right back at her with his unrelenting resolve. His fire burned with a mighty passion and nothing in the universe could dare extinguish it. And Gaia knew this. You're making a mistake. Goku shrugged his shoulders nonchalantly. Maybe I am. This might be the stupidest decision in my entire life. I mean, I'm rejecting a goddess. I think most men would call me stupid. I know for sure one would. Goku smiled as he remembered Master Roshi. He was a pervert, but he was an amazing teacher, and Goku knew for a fact that he wouldn't be the man today without his teachings. But Son Goku isn't his mutant Roshi. He's going to make the choice he believed was best for him. You're actually serious. I wouldn't joke about something like this. Gaia went down to her knees and began to sob. Please don't leave me. I need you. You took away my pain and suffering. You gave me new hope in this life. You have no idea how long I have been waiting for someone like you. I thought I was cursed for eternity. Cursed to be alone with a violent and dysfunctional family that will never truly come to love each other and find peace. All of the damage they have done to the earth, fighting their reckless wars and destroying me emotionally and physically. If you go now, I might miss my chance and lose you. Lose me? Lose me to what? Goku was lost in Gaia's breakdown. He felt sorry for her, but he didn't quite understand what she was talking about. It seems as though there's a history that he still isn't aware of yet. Which makes sense, considering he just got to this world. Gaia laughed at Goku when she heard his naive question. You have no idea, don't you? No idea of what? You fool. The other deities have already been aware of your existence in this plane. That little training you did last night? You practically let everyone know that you're here. Your scent and energy are going to attract a lot of people. Namely, maidens and goddesses who will want to get their paws all over you. You've already met one of them. Artemis? Goku raised his eyebrows. What are you talking about? Doesn't she and her hunters hate men? Gaia gave the Saiyan a smug grin, for now. But she will come around. You feel it, don't you? Whenever you're around her, you sense a connection, don't you? Goku widened his eyes. How do you know that? I'm Mother Earth. My domain reaches across the entire planet. I can see, hear, and feel everything that goes on. And she won't be the only one. There is another particular goddess who has her eyes on you. You better prepare yourself, as she is a handful and will stop at nothing to get what she wants. Goku wasn't even going to question that and decided to leave that for later. Listen, Gaia. It doesn't matter what you do. I have made my decision. Maybe in the future, we can be together, but not right now. I need time to grieve and get over this, and I need to do it on my own. And that is final. Gaia wiped her tears and got up from her knees. Alright then. You want to play hard to get? So be it, Super Saiyan. If you're going to make me suffer, then I'll make you suffer. Before Goku could question what she meant, Gaia raised her hand and out of it came green energy that almost resembles poison. She blasted it into Goku, and the Saiyan felt a jolt of electricity go through him. What the hell was that? What did you do to me? I placed a curse on you. Since you want to move on your own, I decided to help you with that. Your male instincts will kick in now more than ever. This will create an aura that will attract women of all kinds towards you, and they will fall in love with you, and you will be forced to love them. Gaia explained with a diabolical grin on her beautiful face. What? Why are you doing this to me? Isn't this the opposite of what you want? I just told you that I still have not finished grieving, and yet you do this to me. Not only will you be hurting me, but you're going to be hurting other innocents who don't have anything to do with this. Goku shouted at the Earth Goddess. Has she gone mad? Like I said, since you're forcing me to suffer leaving me alone with no love, I'm going to make you suffer by showering you with love. Of course, I would prefer keeping you all to myself, but I don't mind sharing you, as long as you show me the love I desire. You should have known that rejecting my offer would only make me lust after you even more. You can't escape from me, my love. I am the earth itself. Everywhere you go, I will be watching. You can't hide from me. Everything that happens on the earth is because I allow it. I am the mother of all. Everything has come from me, except for you. But I will have you, I don't care how long it takes. And if I have to force this upon you, then so be it. You're evil. Goku commented as he listened to Gaia's monologue. She was really going to do this to him, even after telling her that he didn't want this? What did he do to deserve this? Why couldn't she take no for an answer? Gaia shrugged her shoulders nonchalantly just like Goku did to her earlier. Maybe I am. But that doesn't matter to me. You could argue the same for other deities. This can hurt a lot of people. Oh well. Too bad for you, I guess you're just going to have to deal with it. Be careful to not break any hearts, okay? Gaia laughed maniacally as she said that. Damn you. Goku yelled as he powered up. His white flames returned as they burned even hotter than last time. Get mad all you want. It's not gonna change anything. If anything, it just turns me on even more. I'm not gonna lift the curse. Unless, of course, you changed your mind? Goku said nothing as he stared daggers at the primordial. His gaze did not leave hers. He knew that he was beat. She wasn't going to lift the curse no matter what. And there wasn't anything he could do about it. He wasn't going to try to beat it out of her. It would just be pointless. Plus, Goku wasn't that type of person either. Goku dropped his power and subsided his flames. Gaia smirked in victory, didn't think so. Fine. Have it your way. I'll just have to deal with it. But I'm gonna do it my own way. Even with your curse. I'll just see it as a challenge that I have to overcome, and I always overcome any challenge that comes my way. This will be no different. I'll just adapt and break my limits again and again, until it's enough. Goku said with a grin as he showed that whatever Gaia did to him won't faze him. Gaia sighed and shook her head, an unwavering spirit. But I can't really complain. It's one of the reasons I fell in love with you. Good. You know not to underestimate me. I never did. But know this. Sooner or later, I will have you. And it won't be me coming to you. It will be you coming to me. Gaia exclaimed. Goku chuckled, we'll see about that, Gaia. Goku turned around and began walking away from the goddess. It has been since meeting you, Gaia. But I got work to do. And I'm going to be keeping myself busy. So you might wait a while. The goddess scoffed, I have all of eternity, son Goku. I waited for you this long. I can wait even longer. Good. I guess I'll see you around then. That was the last thing Goku said before he vanished. Oh, we will be seeing each other very, very soon. But let's see if you can truly slay my strongest son like the prophecy foretold. Goku opened his eyes to find himself back in his meditation spot. The animals were still there circling around him just like before he began talking with Gaia. He felt a presence that made him calm and happy. He looked across from him to find the goddess of the hunt, Artemis, sitting down staring at him inquisitively. You look different from before. Goku broke the silence with that observation. Instead of being in adult form, Artemis took upon the look of a 12-year-old, which was the main form that she used regularly. Ah yes. This is the form that I most often take upon. It is my 12-year-old form. Yesterday I was in my adult form, which I mostly use for meetings. Artemis explained. Wow, you can do that? Goku asked. Yes, we gods can manipulate our physical appearance in various ways. We can even shapeshift into different animals, depending on our domains and symbols of power. I see, that must be really handy. Goku remembered Oolong and Pure, who both had similar shapeshifting powers. The technique came out to be really useful quite a few times during the early days of Goku's journey, when he and the gang went looking for the Dragon Balls. Were you meditating? Artemis asked curiously. Yeah, why? When I came back from riding the moon chariot, I found you here, just sitting, without moving an inch. I called your name multiple times, but you didn't react. The wolves said to not disturb you until you were done. The rest of the animals said the same. It felt like all of your energies were aligned, and you were becoming one with the surroundings. So I sat here and just waited. Just how deep were you into the mediation? It was a shock to the goddess that Goku was effortlessly meditating so well. It seemed like he had much practice with the activity. She never met a human so in tune with nature. Satyrs and nymphs would love him. Well, I grew up in the wilderness, so I pretty much always had a connection to nature. It's all I really knew. Not really surprising that I could meditate so well. Goku sat up, making the birds on his shoulders and other animals around him scatter. Artemis squinted at the Saiyan. She didn't sense any lies or deceit from him, but she had a feeling that he wasn't telling her the whole truth either. But she decided to let it go for now and move on to a more important topic. I know what you did last night. Artemis got straight to the point. She had to talk to Goku about this. You do? Goku dumbly replied. Yes. That earthquake last night. That was you, wasn't it? Oh crap, I should have done a better job at suppressing my energy. I didn't take into account the area of effect that my transformations would have. So that's what Guy was talking about. I better be more careful next time. Goku said in his head. He didn't want to attract too much attention to himself, and apparently he did the exact opposite. Yeah, that was me. Sorry, I was just testing something. I wasn't doing anything dangerous, I promise. Goku exclaimed as he put his hands above his head like he was getting accused of a crime. Relax, I'm not accusing you of anything. I just want you to be more discreet next time. You alerted a lot of people of your presence last night whatever you were testing. I'm trying to keep you here on the low, and that show you put on yesterday didn't help. So please be more careful next time. Artemis said as nicely as she could. She didn't know why she was acting so nice towards a man, but the vibration Goku gave off was different. Whenever they were in close proximity, she felt more at ease, and she also felt a little stronger as well. No problem. Goku replied with a thumbs up. Artemis smiled at the act and shook her head. Let's go wake the girls. It's time for breakfast. Hopefully this time, they don't try to shoot me with their arrows. Yes, sorry about that. It was once again nighttime and all of the hunters were asleep. Artemis was riding the moon, so this gave Goku the perfect opportunity to continue his training. He was in the same forest he was last night. He looked around to make sure no one was watching him. Okay, the coast is clear. Let me make sure I suppress my power this time, so I don't cause any unnecessary area of effect. Goku closed his eyes and looked deep within himself. He still wanted to see what was going on inside him with his new power. In his subconscious, he found various flames. One was black, the next was golden, the one after that was red, right next to it was blue, and then there was a white flame. The white flame was the hottest of them all, while the black one was the dimmest. It was obvious to Goku what these fires were supposed to be. They were his forms. The black flame being his base form, and the white one being Ultra Instinct. However, he had missed another flame. There was one after the white flame that he couldn't quite catch the first time. This flame was dark purple in color. And it was similar to the white flame, but it felt much more sinister and dangerous. It reminded him of Goku Black Super Saiyan Rose, but it wasn't quite the same. Goku tried to touch it, but it burned his hand. Yikes. That's hot. I might not be ready for this one yet. What could this new power be? I think I'll have to wait a while before I figure that out. But let me try something. Goku transformed into Ultra Instinct Omen. White flames surrounded him, but they weren't as hot or intense as mastered Ultra Instinct. He looked into himself again and saw that the white flame was currently ignited and running, but the others were dim and calm. The way I achieved Ultra Instinct was through clearing my thoughts and finding peace within myself. Letting my body move on its own. I achieved Super Saiyan when my calm heart was awakened through intense hatred and rage. When me and Gohan trained in the room of spirit and time, we drew out the power of Super Saiyan to its limits, and the aura that surrounded it was different. I think something similar happened in the Tournament of Power when Jiren threatened to kill the members sitting on the stands. But it was the reverse. When I allowed rage to take over, it drew out the limits of Ultra Instinct and replaced it with a new white-hot flame aura. Now if my theory is correct. Goku grabbed the golden flame and put it on top of the white flame. The two flames swished around each other for a few moments before Goku started to feel a change. The Saiyan began to feel angry as he did when Frieza killed Krillin, attempting to recreate that feeling of going Super Saiyan for the first time again, but this time while doing it in Ultra Instinct Omen and maintaining it. Goku's hair spiked up and turned golden, signifying that he turned Super Saiyan. But when he opened his eyes, they weren't the usual teal color of the form. They were silver. I'm a genius. The end and cause for watching.